face.
It's my face. Let's give it just a second, see if we get anybody on here, and then we'll go. I know Josh always likes me to go full tilt.
Guess who's back?
Oh, nobody.
Guess who's back? Back again.
Ease my way into it. That's right. Well, right now, I ain't easing in the nut. Ain't nobody watching. So.
Like Will Smith coming on in the ninth.
Well, there we go. We want to do a real quick before we get going. We want to make sure every one of you guys can hear us, see us, and everything. Due to the last couple of episodes, we've had technical difficulties. So
COVID malfunctions.
There you go. COVID malfunctions is what we've been having. So what's up, Pork Taco? We see you there and all that. So while everybody is getting on, we'll go ahead and get started. Do we sound all right? I know I still sound bad, but as long as the volume is good and all that, we just need to know. We came down here and played with these things this week, and hopefully we got it all fixed. Got a thumbs up, so maybe that's good right there. So let's go ahead and get started. Of course, welcome to the show here at Fish North Georgia. We're glad that you have taken some time on your Thursday night to join us. And if you're watching at a later date, we appreciate you as well. So we want to thank everybody that just takes the time to tune in to watch sometimes our silliness, sometimes, like right now, Mr. Ryan going right there. So I haven't seen none of you guys in forever, and I am so glad to finally be behind the mic and get to see you guys again. We got a good show tonight, so we're going to take care of the business aspect of it first, so let's do that. So first, if you're watching on YouTube, please go ahead and subscribe. If this is your first time, click the bell so you'll get notified anytime we drop anything at Fish North Georgia. And if you're watching on Facebook, all right, if you're watching on Facebook, let's go to streamyard.com/Facebook, right? I ain't done it in a while, so there you go. Put your name in there so that we can see you right now. Hello, everybody. Taylor, Yankee Cranky, that's Kevin. Jeremiah, what's up? Thank you, buddy. And I'm back, and we're going to roll with this thing. But, Ryan and them did a great job while I was gone, so I appreciate that.
We tried under some serious circumstances.
Under
duress. But that's okay. That's okay. What don't kill you will make you stronger. What's up, John? Oh, he's on the lake. There you go. I love it. That's right. That's how we do it. So if you're watching on Facebook, again, go to Streamyard so we know who you are, but also give our regular page a like. And join the Fish North Georgia group page. That's where all the people post their pictures, really, and that's more interactive of the two pages. Don't you agree?
It's very active.
It's a very active
page.
It's got over 5,000 followers, and that's good right there. So, also, while we're at it, I'm going to go down our list of social media platforms that you can find us on Facebook. Of course, you've got the Fish North Georgia page, the Fish North Georgia group. We have the Electric Elite, that's our tournament trail right there, and our product company, True Grit. On Instagram, you can find us at Fish North Georgia and at True Grit Tackle. Twitter, at Fish North GA and True Grit Tackle. And we got a TikTok at True Grit, but we're going to have to really get with Josh on working that thing a little bit. We're going to work on that. So, as always, we'd like to thank our sponsors that make this show possible. This show is brought to you by Chase Epley and the Cassidy Agency with State Farm. From home to auto, life to property, as well as business products, State Farm has you covered. Give Chase a call at 678-779-7269 or shoot him an email at chase@CassidySF.com, and he'll take good care of you. Also, we'd like to give a shout-out to NoFo Brewery just north of 400. My hat?
No, them.
Oh, down or up? You want people to see me?
Yeah, I want people to see
Look at that pretty forehead.
There you go. So there we go. All right, look great. Now back to NoFo, up 400 just north of Cumming. All I can tell you is this: is that I got a couple of kids that really like the place. So evidently, it's a happening place.
And they're getting closer to 10,000 likes.
Are they really?
On Instagram, yes.
10,000 likes on Instagram.
Or follows, whatever you want to call it.
I don't do Instagram. I don't do our Instagram. So
you can't be first, but you can be next.
Something like that. What's
That's
up,
true.
Mario and Tyler, Walton, everybody right there, Robbie, hey buddy, like that. So again, all I know is they got a beer for everything. So that's what I've been told. So anyway, go up there to NoFo and enjoy the atmosphere and all that. Have a little fun. Tell them that Fish North Georgia sent you. So tonight our guest is Mr. Kevin Underwood of Lip Sticker Custom Rods and Guide Service. Right? I said it right? Listen, for a couple weeks I've been saying lip smacker every time because that's one of our jigs. And he's corrected me every time, so I apologize. It's lip sticker.
Go get you a lip smacker jig.
But you can get a lip smacker jig. We'll tell you what to do it. Pull the hat back down. See, somebody didn't like that, so Wes Wilson. Oh, I appreciate you, buddy. Anyway, you do some guiding. You also fish some BFLs, and we're going.
Yeah.
Is Lake Lanier? I would say your main lake, though.
Yeah,
pretty
Lake
much.
Lanier, that's my home lake, and that's where I fish at every day. So
Okay, and so we'll be talking about some of his techniques on Lake Lanier and some stuff, and of course, you guys want to stay tuned. But what started out as the question of the week, and it's still going to be a question, but we're going to pull back out the song of the week. And this young man to my left right here, Mr. Eric Beasley, you've seen him before on here. He was on here with LJ.
LJ, get on and watch this tonight.
Yeah, he showed up to buy something. And we're like, come on, be on the show. Well, what he didn't know was that she's going to sing here in about 45 minutes. And anyway, the question of the week, when we ask about this song, and it is a song that he's going to sing, the winner who answers the question will get a free guided trip with lip sticker, custom guide, or guide service. Custom guide service. Guide service. And I still can't get it right.
Custom guide service.
there you go.
That's awesome.
Can we
And also,
customly
too,
fish the way I want to fish? If we
that's
go with
right.
you?
We can drop shot a horny toad.
We can shot a horny toad. There you
Drop
go.
shot you a horny toad.
And if the song isn't a Britney Spears song, I'm gonna be wrecked. No, it's not.
It's not a Britney
But I will
Spears
tell you this: we
Oh,
are gonna
man.
try to have music with this while he sings. So we hope it all works out. It ought to be pretty good. So yeah, I don't even want you singing Britney Spears right now. I got to work my way back into this. So
As long as you don't wear none of the clothes, then
Yeah.
we're fine.
Britney don't wear a lot of clothes these
I know,
days.
that's the problem. If he does.
You want to do? You
I was
want?
about to say.
Hey, should we do a topless episode? I listened. I probably got a bigger bra size than Britney
We
does.
would have like zero. We would have 30 people online.
Well, listen, we got 42 right now, and I'd say probably about 30 of them are drinking.
Hey, we held 30 last night with a black screen.
These
that
30.
everybody could hear.
Look at this right here. We can do it. All right, we can do it. So
Lord, they'd be
anyway,
rough.
also while we're singing that time, listen, if you stay tuned, I'm going to tell you how you can be entered to win a free FX titanium rod. This is a titanium, so that's about a $324 value. High dollar. So yeah, it is a pretty high dollar. So anyway, of course, we want to thank Paul.
Yep.
Paul is behind the controls.
Paulie.
And I hope you enjoyed your vacation while I was out. So
All right.
it was all right. I'm glad he's there. And of course, Ryan is here. You ready to go?
I'm always here.
You all ready to go? All right. So, we are
I live here.
crossover most body mass, lots of body mass. That's right. That's exactly right.
Hey, you don't get this good looking just by.
That's that look right there for
doing
Tyler.
absolutely
That right
nothing.
there is a title episode: Britney Spears and Horny Toads.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. Save that for the later.
Baby, can't
There
you see?
you go.
There you go. That's right.
Darling.
All right. So anyway, real quick, listen.
I can't help.
I know.
How I zoom in or zoom out, he's still.
He's always moving. That it is what it is. Before we get going, I want to be real.
People know what I look like.
That's right. Unfortunately, yeah, I love him. He knows it. Real serious before we get going, though, guys. I know just while we got that, I want to tell everybody. Listen, just being serious for half a second. You guys, when you go to bed tonight, y'all keep the men and women of the armed forces in your thoughts and prayers and all that, especially with what's going on in Afghanistan. I'm not going to get political. I don't care what side you're on. I just, with what's going on and what I kind of heard today and all that, and kind of watched some of this, just keep these people in your thoughts. They're the reason why we get to do what we do. So,
Good man.
that's the way to do it. Definitely, that's the way to do it. There's people that allow us to sit here and be silly and talk fishing, but we lost at last I heard 11 or 12 of them today.
12.
So 12 of them today. So again, I don't care where you reside on the political landscape. Just keep the servicemen and women in your thoughts and prayers. What's up, Justin Warren? Glad to see you. And you ready to get going? We're gonna talk fishing.
We're gonna talk fishing.
How's fishing been lately?
It's hit or miss.
Hit or miss?
It's good.
It's good.
It's good.
It's
So
good.
I
It's
got-
good for the
It's
guys
good.
who want to
It's-
play around on the south end of the lake.
It's on fire.
Okay, so
That's
I've got.
really good.
Listen,
It's
I've got
on
a.
fire.
We're talking Lanier pretty much right here, right now.
Not for me.
Not for you.
No.
Okay,
Oh, yeah?
but I've got a. It's on fire. It's pretty good, and you basically didn't like it.
It's hit or miss.
Hit or miss.
Some
Now-
days it's good. Some days it's bad for me.
Now,
So
you're a power fisherman.
yeah,
You're more a
these are
finesse guy,
guys.
and you're a finesse guy.
A little bit of both.
A little
Yeah.
bit of both.
I change with the season, take a seasonal approach to what's going on with the lake, and try to stay on fish.
Well, okay, so right now, what's on Alan Pruitt? Yeah, it has been months since I've been on the water. Me too. Definitely me too. I have not, in fact, I have not fished since the tournament before our Electric Elite Classic. So that's been back in May.
Wow.
It's been a long time. You're either sick or working like that. So it's bad when you throw a horny toad. So basically, he's calling you out right there.
He don't know what he's doing.
He don't know what he's doing. Well, here's something I've noticed, and we're going to get into the drop shot and stuff like that. All right, so right there, I got a best August ever. In watching the group page, on the Fish North Georgia group page, I'm noticing a lot of topwater pictures. Okay, a lot of guys are catching them on topwater right now. So before we get into the drop shot, how have any of you guys been trying topwater? Any luck?
I've had a lot of luck with topwater, a lot of success with topwater. Had stripers caught all through the hot summer months on topwater too.
That's right. Yeah, you mentioned
Yes.
that.
Been catching stripers on topwater the whole season.
Gotcha. And so I'm the one that likes to ask the questions. What are you throwing on topwater?
Mainly throwing the Flukes. I got a kind of a variety of Flukes that I run through. If it's a little windier, I'll use a certain Fluke. If it's a
So
little
you're not
calmer,
you're just below the surface topwater fishing. You're not on
Well,
top, or you walk it right on top.
it depends on
Right.
what the fish are telling you. You got to listen to the fish. If fish telling you they want it on top, then like the Z-Man Fluke, that thing's on top. If
Okay.
they're hitting it when it sinks a little bit, I'll tie like a big swivel on it and use the Zoom Fluke. And it'll
Okay.
sink down in the water, or use a bigger hook in it. There's a lot of things you can do with a Fluke to make it do different things. And I brought some Flukes, so I'll show you.
I miss these comments right there,
So-
Tyler. Every once in a while, I'll bring my drop shot rod and high heels. I don't even want to see that. I can imagine that. Let me ask you this, okay? On your Fluke, how do you hook your Fluke?
So there again, I've got different rigging methods, but for open water, top water, I'll nose hook my Fluke,
Okay.
and that's
What size
it.
hook do you normally use?
So I'll use like a 1/0. I like the 1/0 octopus hook by it's a G Finesse Gamakatsu hook, and that thing will probably stuck through people when they
What's
put it in
up,
the
Fluke
package.
Master? How you doing, buddy? Preacher brother Fluke knowledge drop. There you go.
There you go.
There you go, right there. So nose hooking with a 1/0
Yes.
octopus style hook.
Yes.
What are you throwing it on?
I'm gonna throw it on braid
Mm-hmm.
with about a 15 to 10 foot leader,
Okay. Fluoro.
and then
Yeah.
I'm gonna use a swivel and a leader. And like I said, whether they're hitting it when it sinks,
Right.
I'll use like a fluorocarbon, or if they're hitting it on the top, I'll use like 20-pound monofilament,
Oh,
and it'll
okay.
float it.
Gotcha.
So that's the Fluke riggings, and then you got different Flukes.
Right.
You want to get into the Flukes?
Well, we can get into whatever you want to go to.
We'll get
People want to
into
hear
them.
what we're doing. Just
All right.
whatever you can drop that will help somebody else. That's all we need to do right there.
So now we're gonna get technical on some Flukes. If anybody's ever seen those little bitty teeny tiny shads when they go to skittering across the top of the water, and it's a slick calm day, that little guy right there is the Streaks Z by Z-Man, and that's a 3.5 right there.
I'm gonna hold it this way.
So that's
Can you get that camera right there? Or?
No, dude, just sit down and get on the
Oh, look at that. Paul,
Sit
Paul's
down.
back to bossing me around. Just sit your ass down. Man. I ain't been here in a while. I forgot the rules there, teacher.
So now that Fluke, I will decrease my hook size. I'll drop down a hook size on
There
that.
you go.
So
Yeah, look at that.
yeah, that little guy right there, that'll catch them a lot of times when other things won't catch them. When they get real finicky and real picky
And
about
I
what
bet
you're
this is
eating.
a good late summer after.
It is.
And this would work.
That
really
is
good
excellent.
on a lot of the. Okay, let me put it back in there. I'll make sure I stay in camera. This one right here will work real good on a lot of the smaller electric reservoirs too that have some shad and stuff like that in it, like hickory log, Latham, stuff like that, because it really gets to they get really to run in a smaller size bait too at times.
And something else that's good about these Z-Man baits that I really like,
Right.
that one Fluke right there is going to catch about 30.
That's true.
Four.
That's true. What's up, Philip Hutchinson?
before
How,
you,
how about this comment right there? A 10 to 15 foot leader with a swivel is difficult. Very
No.
small leader. I mean swivel. Really small swivel, or
no, I'm tying, if I want it to sink, I'll use a big swivel. I'll use like
no?
a-
Is your
Where you tie
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not tying your braid and fluoro together with a swivel.
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think that's what he was thinking. So you got
No.
the swivel right on the hook.
So I got
You got
a
braid.
leader
your
with
top
braid.
shot.
And I got another reason for the braid also.
How
got
close?
about-
How close to the swivel?
He's got about
is
a 10, 15 foot long
Leader.
leader. He's got about a
Now I
2
got a
foot
swivel.
up to a swivel with about
And,
2 feet.
2 feet.
There we go.
There you go.
Makes sense now. Okay, all
There
right.
you go.
All right, so I think he was thinking you were reeling up 15 foot of line. Your swivel was on your spool and stuff like that.
That'd be
trying to
No,
interesting.
no, no,
sound.
no.
well, that's yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
Where'd they go?
yeah, you'll be replacing some guys.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, I don't know if they'd want. What'd you do
Yes.
to them? Well, beat the hell out of them. That's what I did.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, so
Eric, you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, you hanging in there with us?
Yeah.
All right, man.
He's
So-
nervous.
He is nervous. Look at him.
nervous
He
as
knows he's.
crap.
You and you can get a little more daylight between yourselves and the mics.
We're too close.
Yeah, we are now.
Is that good right there?
Paul's giving us instruction.
How about me? Am I good?
Yeah, that's better.
Is
I'm
that
good.
better? All right, perfect.
No,
perfect.
you're perfect.
I'm perfect
You're doing good.
for once.
For once.
For
Wow.
once.
Man, I am
those,
out of
those of
practice.
us that are used to having to eat the mics are
It-
having trouble.
Is that what
Oh,
it is?
yeah.
It's me and you.
But we like mine.
I like the way that one's covering up your face tonight.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I don't even know. So,
Right,
all right,
that's the
anyway.
best you've ever looked.
It is the
I'm
best.
like, what's his name tonight from Home Improvement? What was the neighbor's
Oh,
name?
the
Wilson.
that guy.
Wilson.
Yeah.
You're Wilson?
Well,
All right, there you go.
Tim, you know,
There you
life's
go.
all about.
That bring the
Apples
hammer
and
down,
oranges.
Paul. Yeah, listen, I'm in trouble. Man, I ain't been here in a while. So, all right, anyway, so, all right, we that's the short type of fluke. And you like it because it catches a bunch, and that's when they get real finicky.
That'll catch them when some of these other flukes won't catch
All
them.
right.
A lot of people are going out and they're like, "Well, I can't catch one on a fluke." Well, you might want to try some other presentations with your flukes, change it up a little bit, because trust me, those fish are eating the fluke.
When you bring that across the top, what kind of speed are we working at?
So,
Shut up, Ryan.
hey,
Don't everybody like throwing a horn
Hey,
toad all day.
I'll hop it out of the water. You know, I'll mix up my retrieves.
So you
I'll make it hop out of the water.
you're walking it, and boom, every once in a while, let it jump.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, you know, people that spend out on Lanier any length of time and over the summer, you'll see these little teeny tiny bait fish, and they'll
Yeah.
just get knocked
Yeah.
out of the water, and it's just like a massacre going on down there.
Right.
How many different colors do you like to throw?
So I basically kind of stick with the smoky shad and the pearl,
The pearl.
and I'll switch them up. You know, I just keep switching them up until I find one that works. You know, a lot of people would say one over the other for cloud cover, but I don't really do that. I'll keep changing my baits up until one of them starts to get hit better than the other one, and
Right.
and that'll be the one I'll throw for the rest of the day, unless the bite dies. Then I'll start changing it up again. But
When you go, do you start out on top or do you let it sink a little bit at the start?
I'll start out on top, especially like first thing in the morning. Most of the time, first thing in the morning, those fish are gonna come up top. They're gonna hit a top water bait.
Using your electronics to
Yeah.
scan out in front
So
of you and stuff?
I don't have the forward-facing sonar yet, but I've got 360 on my boat, and if I'm in an area where I see fish on my 360 and I know fish are in that area,
Mm-hmm.
I can see them on that.
Okay, so you do that.
Yes.
What's up, Nathan? Have no fear, Buddha is here. That's right. There you go. I like it.
Have
Bra-
we ever had Nathan on the show?
Not yet.
You know, we need to. We need to. So, Nathan, right now, I'm going to give you an invitation to the show. I've already got next week's show planned out, but the following Thursday, so I don't know what that date is.
Bull.
What's that? I'm camera side? No, man, you can do that. And I can't catch fish. It don't matter. Neither can I. But
we
I'm
all,
here,
we
man.
all have those days.
Are
We
you
all
throwing
have
them with
those
any
days.
weight other than that swivel? Or are you just using that one swivel to get it down?
So, if I'm having good success right on the surface, and I mean they're coming out of the water, and they got the fluke, on top of the water, I'll use a lighter swivel. If they're hitting the fluke once it sinks down under the water a little bit, I'll go with a heavier swivel. And the thing about the ZMan baits is these things will float. Now this is another special one right here that I really like. This is a ZMan Dark Z. And this thing, if you look at the tail on it, this tail right here, when you jerk this shad on top of the water, this tail will flop
Gives
on
a
top
kick.
of the water.
Gives a kick.
And it'll give it a kick. So some days they'll hit that a little better than they will these other flukes. Some days they want this fluke. Some days they want it pulled really fast and then let it sit for a few seconds.
Gotcha.
So I mean, you just gotta keep mixing it up until you figure the fish out. But just about every day I've been out, I've caught fluke fish this year.
Yeah, okay.
The whole summer, the entire summer.
You got any questions for him?
No, not really.
Feel free at any time to jump in. Paul's got a question.
What you got?
So where do you start, like, technique-wise, and kind of which way do you adjust?
Okay, so
Are you methodical in kind of your beginning and your adjustments, or do you kind of play it by ear?
you pull up to a spot. What you're
So-
doing is not working, kind of stuff like that. How do you make your adjustments?
So which fluke do you start with, and then if they reject it, kind of which direction do
Well,
you go?
I typically go with whatever was working the day before. I'll start there.
Yeah.
You know, if I was catching them on pearl white fluke with just this straight tail, which this is a Z-Man Streaks, and it's a little thicker body, so it'll kind of float up on the surface a little better than some of these other ones will. And this was the fluke we was catching them on today.
Okay.
They would not touch that fluke. They would come up and you would see them swim up underneath of it and then right back down.
So the pearl was working today.
Hey, this fluke right here, for whatever reason, they didn't want the tail flapping on the water. They wanted this guy right here.
A little
today.
more subtle presence. Did you?
Well, so when you pull this guy,
And we're talking Lake Lanier. You were
Yes,
on Lake Lanier,
Lanier.
and he posted some pictures
Lake
on
Lanier.
the Fish North Georgia
Hey,
group page
This
too.
thing caught a pretty big striper today, and several spots today that were pretty good,
Right.
pretty decent size.
Go look on Lipsticker
Lip sticker.
on
Yeah,
Facebook.
you go,
Facebook.
go look on my Facebook page and see them there. But this guy right here put them on the boat today. They would not touch these other ones. You know, we started off, it was kind of slow this morning, first thing, and it was like, man, they just won't touch this fluke today. So changed it up, kept changing it up, went with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted it, you know, we'd skip it across the water a little bit when we cast it out. Let it stop, then pull it. When you pull it, this thing will kind of wiggle
Right.
when you pull it. Then you stop, wait a few seconds, pull it again. You just got to keep mixing your retrieves until you find what they want.
Find what triggers them.
Yep, figure out what triggers them.
What depths of water are the brush piles in that you were? I think. What is that?
So,
What you're fishing your flukes over? Yeah. What depth of water right now?
so today it was 15 to about 30 feet today.
15 to 30.
15 to 30
And that's what
feet.
you've been finding too, because you were.
that-
Didn't you
that's
fish
about
today?
perfect. No, I didn't fish today.
But you've been fishing a lot.
Oh yeah, a lot.
And that's
lately.
about what they've been
Mhm.
hitting on Lanier.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to talk to Ryan because Ryan has sucked it up lately, and he's not doing that. But you've had success 15 to 30.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
I gotcha. What hook size for the little one again?
It's a teeny tiny one. It'd be like a
Can you almost like a wacky rig kind of small, that kind of hook?
Kind of,
Yeah.
it's a real small
Like a number
one.
2 drop shot type, the octopus type drop shot
It'd-
hooks that
it'd
you've
probably be
seen
a
them?
little smaller than that.
Okay.
So you'd probably go with like a 2 or a 3.
Okay. On the small
Not
one.
a 2 alt or a 3 alt,
Right, but like a number 2,
or a three.
number 2 or 3
Yes.
on that. And then on your larger ones, you're using a 1 alt nose
so
hook.
That one right there, I would use a 1 alt nose hook. This one, I'd use a
Two.
1 alt nose hook. Same deal on the other ones.
Is there any, or is blah, 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 is there ever a time where you do not use a nose hook, but you go through the body? Texas
If-
rig style.
If I'm gonna throw it in a lay down or in some junk somewhere, I
Okay.
will Texas rig the fluke.
Going on like on,
Yeah.
you know, lay down off the bank and you're throwing
Yeah.
it right up in that stuff.
If you nose hook a fluke and you throw it and lay down, you know, it's just a pain in the butt to fish it that way. For me, I would rather Texas rig them if I'm gonna be throwing it in any kind of lay downs or bushes or anything like that.
I got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
so,
Ryan, you awake, buddy?
Yep.
You have any questions for him on the Fluke? Are you like sad that you're not getting to talk, or you just soaking it all in?
No, I'm just
What?
soaking it in.
Soaking it in. Okay, there you go. He's just soaking
They
it all
can
in.
have this.
They can
Come
have
on,
this.
man.
There, you don't throw
Listen.
flukes. You don't throw flukes.
Listen, I do throw a fluke,
Okay.
but I don't throw it how they throw it.
Well, how do you throw a fluke? Because there might be somebody out here that wants to know an
I just
alternative.
throw it the way that I throw it.
And what is
Texas
that?
rig.
You Texas
No.
rig. You throw it.
15, 17 pound test line,
Yeah.
and I skip it underneath everything I can find.
So you like to skip it under docks and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Underneath the, right now, you know, you said I was sucking it up, but Saturday,
I'm just playing with you, big guy.
Saturday
Don't
I
get your
caught
feelings hurt.
31.
31.
Yes.
But remember earlier when I asked him how he's doing it? I mean, it's all
I
right.
mean, you
It's
know,
all right.
just
It's all
whatever.
right. It's all right. So
I mean,
that
31 wasn't bad.
Ryan
I
needs
went
some
through
cheese
20
curds.
I went through 24
That's right.
horny toads Saturday.
But we ain't talking about horny toads.
I'm just saying. You asked me a question. I
Okay,
told you
so
that.
those were Zoom horny toads.
Yeah. I have 2 retrieves with a Fluke when I fish it. Both of these guys do it totally different than I do.
Yeah.
I either fish it out of sight, slow,
Mm-hmm.
or it's on top of the water no matter what depth
Fast.
I am. Yeah, I don't let them see it too good.
All right. What about you, Eric?
For me with the Fluke, especially like over brush piles, there's certain flukes, if you got like protruding fins and things, if you use that Texas rig hook, it'll keep it keeled up, and those fins will kind of bring it to the top, and it'll just swim along the top with a little bit of hunt to it. And I really like that because you can keep it super slow. Like the depth Sakamata shad, that's a real one because it's got 2 fins on the outside, and it'll just keep it up, and you can like keep it on top of the water.
Hakamata shad? What?
Sakamata shad.
Well, first of all, listen, that was a very good answer.
He's a very good.
No, that's very good. It was like intelligent. Like
Yeah.
you might need your own show. You know what I mean? That was good.
LJ's rubbing off.
LJ's right. No, because if it was LJ, he'd have told a story about a sandwich or something before that.
about the tacos I ate.
Let me tell you, tacos I ate. It's Taco Thursday. That's why he's never on here hardly anymore.
He'd be stuffing that.
That's right. Do you ever weight the flukes, like with nail weights? Any of you?
No, I don't.
No, from Ryan.
Belly weighted Texas rig hook. Sometimes,
belly
especially
weighted
if
Texas
they're like
rig.
chasing a Texas rig in. So yeah, sometimes you can get that little weighted fluke,
And you
and
can get
it just
those at
doesn't have that
Georgia,
tail
we got 'em.
kick. And man, you just really really slowly reel
I
that
have a
thing.
secret thing that I
And it'll just
have that
pummel
I
it.
throw and I want to keep it out of sight.
Well, are you gonna tell everybody?
Well, I mean,
What do we do? I got a secret thing.
It might be something that we come out with.
Yeah, true grit tackle. You never know, right there. Look at your mic, dude. Like you're hiding your face right there. Nobody can see that glorious mug you got, or that hat right there. All right, what about? Do you ever throw any other color other than white?
I throw other colors. I throw green gizzard shad.
Gotcha.
This is another different type of fluke too. And if you look closely, the tails on these flukes are shaped a little different. That one there is up
They
and
are.
down.
It's yeah.
Where that one there will kind of kick side to side.
What's the difference in that with the tail up and down as opposed to side as far as the action?
So like this one here, I don't really get it. I don't really use this fluke on top of the water. I use this fluke under the water. This is a Guggen fluke. I can't remember exactly what they call it, but this is Guggen's fluke
Okay,
that they have.
right.
And I really like this fluke. Green gizzard shad, that's the one I go with that one.
Right.
Yo, Paul, what are you doing?
And
He's all good.
this fluke here is the one I use on top water that's got the flat tail. And when you pull that fluke through the water, that tail right there will slap the top of the water.
Right.
I mean, it'll pop, 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 pop the top of the water. So like on a windy day, this guy right here over any of these other ones.
And that's a Z-Man?
This
What was the name of that? You said it earlier.
this is a Dart Z.
A Dart Z.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
a Dart Z.
And it's got some segmented body
yeah,
in it.
Hey, it's got a lot of stuff going on.
Right?
This guy does.
Yeah, there's a lot to
I
that
mean,
one.
it's got the segmented body. Hey, it's got a lot of action. It's got a lot of movement in the water. Like I said, on a windy day or a cloudy day, most of the time, I'll kind of lean more toward that guy.
Right?
I mean, I'll throw the other ones
Mm-hmm.
because you never know. You know, they get keyed in on the bait a certain way and want it a certain way. So, you know, that's what we got to do is figure them out.
Okay, all right. All right, and while we got a chance right here, Ryan, and we keep mentioning topwater, there was something about a cast that you wanted mentioned?
Yeah, so I had a lengthy conversation on the phone last night with Ryan Hanks, and Cast is restocked with all their baits.
He was on the show about what, a month and a half, 2 months ago?
A little over, yeah, somewhere around in there. It was back at the beginning of summer. But anyway, 30% off all their clothing right now, and they are restocked on. They have the OG herring, the black and silver chrome, and then the bone.
The bone.
Now, back in the summer, they didn't have any of the bone, but now they have the bone back in stock.
Okay.
And he told me last night, he said I could share this information with all of y'all. This starting here in the next couple weeks, when you buy something from them, from the U.S. distributor, it will come with split rings and hooks.
Yes.
So it will come rigged, ready to throw out of the package.
Yeah, and that's what, for people that don't know, when you get these topwater baits, especially some of the saltwater stuff that was made overseas in Australia, you just get the bait itself, and you have to supply your own split rings and hooks and stuff like that. Whereas in the American market, you know, we just want to go to the store, pick it off the shelf, tie it on, and go. And so that was one of the things they had to actually change with their baits a little bit, was they had to supply that kind of stuff.
They will all come with Spro 90-pound split rings.
Okay.
And they will have the big, super sticky sharp number one Gamakatsu hooks.
All right, so you guys listen. You guys go to cast.com, right? And
castfishingusa.com.
After the show, you know. So
yeah, after the show.
Yeah, that's what
So,
we're good with that.
Yeah. So and stay tuned to Cast also, because I cannot say it yet because he did not give me permission. But here in the next month or two, they're going to have some exciting footage coming out.
Okay, there you go.
And
So
that's all I'm going to say about it. That's all he would let me say.
and we will probably get Ryan back on the show.
Are you in it?
No, absolutely not.
No, you're not very excited.
No, absolutely not. Let's just say, only thing that he said that I can say is that there will be a film crew. A very good film crew will be up here for about 3 weeks straight.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So okay.
And they're going to be throwing nothing but cast stuff.
There you go. What's up, Mr. Brock Turner? Yeah, Cass, it's a good bait. And Facebook user right there that says, good to see you, Mr. DP. Good to see you, too. But again,
I'll be back.
a good time for Ryan to take a potty break. But go to Streamyard, www.streamyard.com/Facebook, and put your name in there. So that way, when it pulls up on our comments, you're not Facebook user, unless you just want to remain anonymous. And that's fine. I totally get that, too. We're getting ready to jump into the Dropshot world and all that. So, I mean, do you have anything else on the Flukes that you really want to go over? Or if I've missed, I mean, I know we probably could just talk Flukes all day long, but what do y'all want to do? Y'all want to stay here, or you want to transition into Dropshots? It's up to you, buddy.
There's a thing you can do with the Fluke with the braid too.
Okay, well, then let's do that.
There's another reason that I use the braid with the Fluke. A lot of I don't know if a lot of people are using braid, but what I like to do with the braid is on a good windy day, you throw that thing out there, and as far as you can throw it,
Right?
you'll get this big loop kind of in your braid. While that's up there and blowing in the wind, if you pull it really hard, that Fluke will jump out of the water just like that bait fish.
So just, so as
pull
second
it-
it hits, you pop it.
Tink and that little thing, the wind holding the braid up in the air will hop that bait out of the water. And you can hop it about 3 or 4 times like that on a good windy day, and they will just come unglued on that Fluke.
Now, do you do that? Do you do that when you've noticed bait fish jumping and stuff like that, or is that just something that you'll just do every once in a while
Well,
just
if
for the heck of it?
that's what's been working. and you'll notice bait fish are doing the same thing.
Right, absolutely. So you're mimicking and you're matching the hatch and mimicking,
the hatch.
doing all
Exactly.
that. So and that is much easier with the braid on a windy day, of course.
Is. You're not going to throw fluorocarbon out there and do that with fluorocarbon.
Do you have a particular brand of braid that you like
Well,
above another?
I like to use the X Plasma by Sunline.
Mm-hmm.
So I use that for a couple of things. I use it on a shaking head, and I got a reason for that too.
Okay.
But you know, we can talk about that.
We can get to that. Yeah, we can get to that too. Hey, listen, we can do whatever we want
So-
to do. What about you? Braid. You got a favorite braid?
I use Cigar Smackdown normally.
Cigar and Sunline.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I assume you use Sunline on your leader.
I do.
You do, and you
Yes.
use Cigar on your leader.
Yeah, I'll use Sunline sometimes, but that Cigar Gold label, that's pretty good, especially on the lighter lines.
Okay.
I really like it.
What So you said
Shooter.
what pound test are you using?
So
Um,
I'm using.
This is with your Fluke.
I'm using 10. If I'm wanting to sink, I'll use like 10. But I don't. I don't. If it's good on the top,
Uh huh.
then I'll use like 20-pound leader.
Okay.
With mono, because it
Mono.
floats better.
Yep.
Do you use a particular brand of mono?
Nah, I'm pretty.
Just mono is
Just
mono.
whatever mono.
Mono is mono like that. I got it. And so what?
Suffix.
Do you have two rods rigged already? I mean, I assume that you got one rigged with mono and one rigged with. I mean, as you go, or are you making this?
I'll change it up. if
You'll
I
change
need
it up on the boat. What knot do you use from your braid to your fluoro?
braid to fluoro. I'll use a FG knot.
FG knot. You've gotten to where you can tie it pretty quick, and it don't take you an hour and a half to tie it.
Yeah, I got a pretty good way to tie it. I've watched quite a bit on the FG knot.
Right.
Hmm.
I seen something that I really liked, and I tried it, and I'm like, you know what? That's a good way to do it. I really like
So Mr. Turner says, talk about the braid. I'm experimenting. So
it. What are we?
we were talking about how you were popping it in a windy day. And you said, who did you say? It was Sunline, what kind?
I use Sunline X Plasma. It's the I really like the really bright.
I will say, yeah, do you use the colored braid?
I do.
Because I've got yellow. What do you use?
I use this.
That's kind of more, that's a bluish kind of, almost like a water kind of color.
Yeah, kind of.
Mhm.
But you can see it when that's laying on the water. You can see that line really good, which is really good on a shaking head.
Gotcha.
So like when you fish, a
Yeah, that's
shaking
what I was
head,
noticing. Shaking head. It ain't shaky head. He throws a shaking head.
Yeah,
So
Time me and Kevin talk on the phone. He's like, I caught a few on a shaking.
on a
head."
shaking head.
shaking head.
All right. Hey, there you go. We can call it that. We can call it that. All right. So
Almost got hooked by that thing.
Call
There
me
you
during the tournament. I caught a limit on a shaking head.
shaking head. We'll get to that shaking head. So anyway, let's Chris Taylor he's got a tournament. King
Yeah.
what's it called? Go up a couple if you don't mind. King's on Lanier, October 30th, somewhere right in that day. Y'all can check that out. So that'll be some pretty decent. Yeah, October 30th, King's of Lanier. So that'll be some pretty decent guys fishing that one right there. So all right. So how about if you guys got any more Fluke questions, let us know. We'll continue to ask it. But
You
we're
ever
going.
rigged one upside down?
Huh?
You ever rigged one upside down?
You ever rigged one upside down? I don't know why I'm asking that question, but it seemed like a question.
What about that donkey rig?
Donkey,
No,
do you
no.
donkey rig it?
I
good
do.
at that.
I do certain times of the year, like herring
Yeah.
thing is fire.
Explain to everybody that doesn't know what a donkey rig is. It's not a show in
So-
Tijuana.
Uh,
We,
that's over in China.
yeah, it's
We
not
got
south of the border.
Spiders and donkey rigs.
Donkey
from
rigs,
China.
yeah, that's right. So, what is a donkey rig?
So that's where you got your main fluke on your leader. On your leader with your swivel, and then you loop the other swivel and another leader up above.
I gotta get that GoPro footage.
Up above that, and the swivel up above the other swivel will spin around the other fluke. And if you do it right, those things won't get tangled together, believe it or not.
Okay. Do you have a lot of luck with that?
I do.
You do.
Herring spawn, those things are fire.
That's it. You
They
ever,
will eat it.
can you double up on it?
Yeah, you can double
Have
up
you?
on it.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. I'm not
The
coordinated
thing-
enough to throw it.
Thing about these spots is they are notorious for trying to take it out of each other's mouth. A lot of times you'll catch them on same bait. You'll have two fish on one plug.
Right.
So
Well, let me ask you this, because I know you fish. Get off the internet. Yeah, I know it. I just tuned in, but why is Swivel on a Fluke and any other baits? You can answer that before I get to my question.
why swivel on a fluke and any other bait? Because you will get 9,000 line twists.
So you do it to prevent the twist.
I do. It's annoying having to go and re-spool a rod because you twisted it up with a fluke.
Even with the braid.
It'll still twist if you throw it long enough.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I got you.
So when I'm spooling up braid, I'm spooling that braid up. And it's on there for the year.
Right. Yeah.
Next year we'll spool it again.
We'll spool it again. So there you go. What?
Oh, y'all leader people.
Leader people.
Leaders.
All right. They're power man.
Leaders.
We'll get some power guys. I think we got some power guys coming on
The-
next week.
Oh, you gave him a month worth of power show.
That's true
The
too.
book of leaders.
Yeah, I can't imagine y'all what y'all talked
The
about.
church of leaders.
Because I don't go back and watch our shows. I know that sounds crazy. I never watch them.
You don't ever watch?
I never watch them. Not that I don't like us. I was here, so like that. And I don't like watching myself on video. I'm not. I don't like doing it. But I'm sure over the last 3 or 4 episodes, you talked a lot about power fishing. Yes, just a little.
Horny toad.
Just a little. Yeah, there you go. That's right.
Not.
All right. So.
I did not.
All right, but guys, again, any other questions on the Fluke? You guys keep coming, and we can go back to them. Don't stop. We're going to transition into drop shotting. That's why Eric come up to the store today, was to look at some of the linear bait stuff we had, and we were talking drop shot. And the next thing, here in about 10 minutes, he's going to be singing for you guys, and you guys are going to love it. This is going to be like so good. Give us a little bit of your singing.
Chocolate
These
rain.
guys, I'll sing it. I'll sing it when the time comes. I'm not singing right now.
You can't do any Frank Sinatra, just
No, I'm good right now.
You're good?
I'll stick to this. Yeah.
You stick to it. You're
Yeah.
nervous, aren't you?
The singing part. I like fishing more than singing. Let's just
I know,
say
but no, we don't have no water in here, so you can't fish. So
I
that's
know.
what, we would do that. So all right, so let's
Aquarium over there.
huh? Aquarium. That was supposed to be for our TikToks. We can't get Josh to do. He made a good one and then he quit. All right, so drop shot. Now I know you make your own rods for that purpose. You got one upstairs that you used today. You said it was more of a shaking head
Well,
rod.
I got it right here.
You
Yeah,
know,
I
all
fished
I'll never
it
call
as
it again. It's a shaking head for the
It's
rest
a
of my
shaking
life.
head right there.
So you make your own rods and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
what makes a good drop shot rod?
Well, you want it to flex.
Okay,
So when you set that hook, well, you don't really set the hook. You just kind of lift and reel.
right.
But the flex of the rod's going to keep you from breaking the fish off.
Okay,
So when you're fighting a fish, because you're using 6-8 pound leader,
mm-hmm.
hey, that stuff will break if you don't have the right rod for that. If you have too stiff of a rod, yeah, you'll snap one off.
So what kind of? What's a good length? Because I know there's a lot of opinions out
So
there. For you,
for me, I like a 7-foot rod on my drop shot, and that gives me plenty to. Because when I drop shot and I'm vertical, I'm over a brush pile or whatever. Every once in a while, I'll cast a drop shot, but typically on linear, I'm gonna be over a brush pile, looking at my graphs, working my trolling motor. So I want a rod that I can get out easily over the front of my boat and work that drop shot.
okay,
So 7 foot, that does it for me.
okay. What about you?
I'm basically the same. I'm throwing a 7-foot rod right now. You can shorten it up a little bit, especially if you're on the trolling motor. It makes it a little easier to keep it closer, keep it under the trolling motor cone. But yeah, a lot of flex, because when you reel up into them, you also don't want to be snapping into them. You want to get that head coming up and just keep it, and just keep that rod bent so it just keeps them pinned, and you just keep on reeling.
I know he answers very well, but I can tell he's been with LJ, getting that head up. He's getting that head up.
The second a 4-pounder brings you back into a pile because you snapped into them and they just run.
Right.
I mean, if you just do it slowly, it'll just start bringing up out of it. And then once they're out of it, then you can let them run. You can let them fight. But honestly, I mean, Yeah, that's scary. That's a scary sound when you got a big old 15-foot tall brush pile that they can run into.
Wait a minute. You caught a 4-pounder on a drop shot?
Oh yeah.
It happens. You
All
catch
the
some
time.
big ones on a drop
It
shot.
does
Oh,
happen.
there's
Yeah.
LJ don't do it, but some of his clients do.
There's some big ones.
Big
that come
drop
on
shot
I'm just
fish.
kidding, LJ. If you watch this later, or you come back, so don't nobody call LJ and say Danny's talking bad about him because he gonna be on here. I'm not. Okay, I love you, so let's do that. All right, so your drop shot rig, you got a particular reel that you like to use with you? Because I assume you use your rods.
Yeah.
What kind of reel you like to use?
So I like the Shimano Stratics,
Mhm.
not the CI4s. I use like
The silver one.
the HGs, and I think they're a FG, HG. HG. There you go.
I think it's.
I gotta look at this thing
Oh,
and see
think
what
about
it
that
is.
TikTok.
TikTok.
That new TikTok with my daddy drives a BMW and it's just Shimano. That's the first thing that's come to my mind.
But yeah, the
Unreal.
Shimano reels, they are like good.
Good.
Those reels are really good.
I have that
They
exact
got a
same
good
reel.
drag
Yeah.
system.
Okay.
You
LJ
get you-
loves the trash talk more than fishing. That's true.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah.
You get the drag set right on the Shimano, and you get a good drop shot rod, good line, good braided line. You're catching some fish.
Okay, and so let me ask you this: generally, what kind of from your hook down to your weight? What do you normally start off if you're going to be vertically? You got your tag. How long is your tag?
So my tag.
Uh-huh.
So my tag, I like these. I just basically start with what was working,
Yeah, I got you.
and if it ain't working, I don't really like a lot of hardware on my drop shot. Like,
I noticed that yours is Texas
Swivels.
rigged right there.
Yes.
Okay,
And that's so you can get it in and out of the
Yeah,
brush.
that's necessary.
Right.
But see if I can get out here without poking.
Oh,
on the
listen,
light.
you be careful.
Yeah. So this is my drop shot setup right here, and I just basically like it like that. And this line will twist. It'll get twist in it. But the way I look at it is by the time it gets enough twist in it, I'm changing to a new leader.
Mhm.
And the thing about it is this is going into brush. You're catching fish out of brush. So you're going to hook that fish, and he's going to drag this leader over limbs, over whatever's down there.
Right.
So for me, the line twist, I'm going with it like this, and I'll deal with the line twist until it gets twisted up so bad that I need to change it. But like I said, by the time I need to change it anyway because I done drug the line over the brush, and it's time for fresh line.
Please don't ever do that again. That was on camera.
I know.
Oh
What
dear
did you
Lord.
do? I was pretending I was coming to eat the drop shot.
Here, you want to eat it? It looks good.
No, it did not
like
look
a
good.
gummy worm.
It didn't look good. If you saw what I saw, it didn't look good.
That's sexy shad right there. Don't that look sexy?
Okay.
Yeah. So this is just typical
Come on, have some
Palomar,
fun.
and I am a big fan of the Gamakatsu G Finesse hooks.
Those
Yeah.
are probably the best finesse hooks.
Gamakatsu G
Hey, that
Finesse.
thing right there will stick you. I stuck myself with it over here a while ago.
So, well, it looks good. What's that, about a 1/0?
That is a 2/0.
2/0? Okay.
And for this particular hook, I can go with this hook right there, and I can fish my robo worm on it. I can fish my worms that I like. I got a variety of worms that I like to fish, and that hook fits all of them really well.
So I notice he has the worm pretty high over the sinker. Mine is normally within 18 inches of the bottom. His is actually it's just a
Less.
camera because it can't be 12 inches. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
not quite,
about a foot.
Yeah.
But if I want to change it, another thing that I like about this particular setup is these teardrop weights right here. So you can pull your line
Mm-hmm.
out,
And just
and you can move it here.
There
Now
you
I
go.
got a really short drop
Almost
shot.
like a Tokyo rig looking little thing right there. So there you
Yeah,
go.
right. Tokyo
Right, got the
rig.
Tokyo rig going on.
But hey, sometimes they want it like that,
That's right.
and sometimes for me on a drop shot, a lot of times when I rig it like this, that's when I'm gonna let that thing go through the brush and just let it hit the bottom.
And let it hit the bottom.
And let it hit the bottom. And what a lot of times what them fish will do, they want to pin it to the bottom. They want to trap that bait where they can catch it.
Okay.
So they'll pin it on the surface. We throw top water, catch them on top water, and they also pin it to the bottom. They'll chase the bait to the bottom, pin it, and eat it there. So when that's right on the bottom, you'll see this big old school of fish grouped together, and they'll all come down at one time.
Right.
And then you'll feel a little tink, and you got one. And then
Okay.
you pull it up, and you'll pull one out, and you'll see the whole school come out of the brush with it, and then they go back down into it.
Okay. All right.
So that's
there you go.
that setup. But now if I'm catching them up in the brush, like in the tops of the brush or whatever, I might do a long leader.
Right.
I'll do it longer. But if I'm catching them on the very bottom and having to drop it all the way to the bottom and catch them, I'll kind of go a little shorter on my leader. If I'm catching them up in the brush, I'll kind of fish it like this.
Okay.
So
All right.
that's just different.
All
Different
right.
setups.
There you go.
For different things.
It's like a good time to take the break right here. Are you ready, son?
Man, we went from drop shot into singing, man.
Yeah,
Come
you're getting ready to
on.
sing. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot we
That's
can
not-
talk about drop shot. I don't want to get too invested into it, and then we're gonna answer all you guys' questions, so don't forget them, and you might have to sit again, put them back on. But here's what we're gonna do for
He
the
don't
question.
have live scope yet, Jeremiah.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's 360.
He's waiting
No,
on the
I
hummingbird.
wish
Right.
I wish I had some forward facing stuff. I can't wait to get it.
Well, I know I've been trying to get
He's
it.
a
People-
hummingbird
I've,
guy.
I've been waiting on it.
I've been trying to order people hummingbirds.
hummingbird.
I've been trying to order them for people. It's the. I
No,
asked,
so-
360 the other day, our distributor, she goes, "There ain't one here, and there won't be."
So hummingbird don't have the forward facing sonar yet available for the
They-
consumer. They got
had
it
on
on
the
some
boats.
of the pros boats.
Yeah.
And we've gotten to see some of the footage from it, but we're not able to get
Mm-hmm.
that yet.
It-
I can't wait, man. I'm
Well,
ready.
what they told me was the first units that actually the pros got the prototypes on, but the first units that are actually coming out are going to the boat manufacturers because they've got boats that are sitting waiting, ready to get out. And then once they take care of the boat manufacturers,
They-
we people will get.
They
them.
have boats.
I
with
hope
no
they send me
motors.
mine.
I know.
I've
it's-
had mine.
Yeah,
I've had mine ordered since last November, paid for.
I know. I've had people do it. And they call me up. When's it coming? I'm like, man, I don't know. I wish I could.
Yeah.
Someday.
Someday. All right, so here's what we're going to do for the question of the week. Now, we're going to bring back a little segment, the song of the week, in which this young man right here is going to sing a song. All right? After he sings the first verse, so Paul, don't do it right away, but after he sings the first verse, across the bottom of the screen right there in the banner is going to be the question of the week. Now, it's a two-part question. I'm going to tell you I need the actual song, and there's a two-part. So when you answer in this thing, we're going to try. You got to have both of them in your answer right there. And so you guys are going to help me. I always mess this up because I always say, hey, there's a winner, and it was somebody up above it. I mess up and I end up giving away two of these. But we're only going to give away one. We're only going to give away one. Kevin is going to give the winner a free guide trip. You and him can get together on Lanier, and he's going to take you out fishing, show you some of this stuff that we're talking about. I will tell you this. The artist is Guns N' Roses. Okay, so the artist is Guns N' Roses. But after we get through the first verse, Mr. Paul is going to run that thing across. Now, I'm also going to give this young man some music. So hopefully we're going to do a test on the music real quick, make sure it ain't too loud for everybody. And then you guys give me a thumb up or thumb down as to the music volume, and then he's going to sing. Are you ready to do this?
Oh, absolutely not.
You never come up here on a Thursday night.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, yo.
This is going to be great, man. You can do it. All right?
Oh, I know I can
So-
do it. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, so listen. So here is the music. We're gonna,
I get up
listen,
around 7.
I'm going to play about... I'm gonna play about
Get out of bed
seconds
around 9.
for everybody to check the volume, okay?
Okay.
And YouTube, listen, I do not own the rights to this song. I'm getting this off YouTube itself, all right? So I don't want nobody cutting our feed off or anything like that.
Bam.
How does that sound, Paul? To all you guys out there.
I got it.
It sounds pretty good?
It's good enough.
If it's good,
I mean, everybody knows what that is.
well, all right. Then, so are you ready?
Absolutely
Are you ready?
No.
You
Huh?
should
Well, I mean-
keep
Should I?
playing because it takes forever to get.
Well, let's just let it keep playing, and we got time. I just want to make sure the boys ready. Yeah, that's not the answer to the question. The question's going to be in the banner. I know this Sweet Child of Mine. Yeah, sing loud, though.
God, don't let Ryan sing. Too bad, Jeremy.
I don't even know when to start.
I'll tell you,
I'll
it's
tell you what.
karaoke.
It's karaoke.
Okay.
Tonight, hold on a second. Come on,
Come on, man.
come on, start bouncing a little bit.
Come on, get in the groove.
Look, he is so nutted up.
Oh, this is so bad, man. I just want to drop shot.
That 3, 2, 1, go.
She's got a smile that seems to me reminds me of childhood memories where everything was as fresh as the bright blue sky.
You go.
And now and when I see her face, she takes me away to that special place. If I stare too long, I'd probably break down and cry.
All right, here
I
comes
give
the
up on
question,
this
guys.
shit.
Come here, right now.
Whoa, sweet child of mine. It's on the internet, bro.
Come on, man.
Whoa, sweet child of mine.
Sing loud now. Okay, little break.
Okay.
Little break for Slash. We know it's Sweet Child of Mine.
Question.
Read the question. It's on the banner. It's right there. Oh, here we go.
The eyes of the bluest skies, all the rain. I'd hate to look into. I can't do that. I don't even know this part of the song. I'm breaking it down. I don't know what you want me to do. I can't harmonize with that.
Right
You
there.
know that?
Here we go.
Thank God.
No, that's not it.
No, dang it.
On the G
No.
side.
On the G side.
On the G side. Look at appetite for this.
No.
No, we know.
No, it's not.
So it's not space?
No. No.
Come on, it's a little bit more than that.
Come on. No, let's go.
Taco.
What taco get? I can't see.
Lock and loaded.
No.
No.
No. It's on the G side.
Wyatt Richards.
Okay, well, right there. There we go. Eric Friday or, let's see. No, Tim Hancock. Is he the first one?
Yeah. That's
Tim
far as I
Hancock.
know.
Okay, I think.
Thank you.
See, I even hinted it
Come
before
on.
the song.
One more time, let's go.
Where are we even at?
Wait. What's the time?
3:46.
Okay. Gotta do this for Tim Hancock.
Oh, there you go. Are you sure?
He's the only one that got it right. So yes.
Yeah,
Tim White was close. He had 3:49. Dude,
Is
listen.
it Tim Hancock?
Tim Hancock.
Tim Hancock.
Yeah, Tim Hancock is the winner.
Awesome.
That's
I get
Mr.
up around
Spinnerbait.
7.
Now you
Get
got.
out
So
of bed around
I'm a
9.
spinnerbait guy too.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Back to
That just changed it. Hold
We
on a
got-
sec. First of all, let's do this. Listen.
They're gonna be trading trips.
We've been dancing with Mr. Brownstone.
Yeah, but that's what he sounded like.
Get up around 7.
That, I should have made you do a rap song. But you listen.
Yeah.
You did a good job. You played along. You sing like crap, but you did a great job. You're terrible. But actually, that was pretty good, dude. I think you did good. What do you think, Paul?
Ryan's Axel impression is shockingly good.
Ryan does a lot of impressions. Seriously, he does. He's good. Do the Mr. Brownstone again.
Oh, I get up around 7. Get out of bed around 9.
That sounds like a vaudeville kind of guy like that. So,
We've been dancing with Mr. Brownstone.
oh, that's okay. We can stop. This is gonna go
He's
south
been
and hurt.
knocking.
Yeah, that's gonna go
That's
south.
gonna go. That's gonna go south really quick. Real quick. But you did it. Listen, you did a good job. next time we'll have the guest sing "I Like Big Butts" by Sir Mix-a-Lot.
I like big butts. It's not like.
Yeah, we can do that. Fat boys right here.
So your girlfriend.
I do like big butts, though. Listen, seriously, there's nothing wrong with a big butt. There is nothing wrong with the front end of a Volkswagen coming at you right there. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
So is Hancock on Facebook?
Yes, he is.
All right.
Oh,
Well, Tim,
And
if
listen,
you
I can tell you
will,
right now, if you do that, he's going to bring his book and he's
Yeah.
going to write down everything you did.
hey, that's fine. We good?
No, I mean not like secrets. He's kept track of all his
That's
fish
cool.
for like.
Hey,
30
I thought
years.
that was really cool. That's
Yeah,
really,
that's what I'm talking about.
that's really neat to go and hear things that was like years past. Well, I'm gonna tell you what though. This year on Lanier, the top water is different.
Why is that?
It's different.
It's different.
Hey, it is a lot different.
Well,
than
why?
it's been. Hey, so I think it's got to do with the herring and maybe the weather. The water temps.
What about the herring? What about the herring?
Hey, so the herring's kind of coming back a little bit this year. There seems
Okay.
to be more of them.
We've had 2 years in a row now, specifically 2 years, pretty hardcore in a row now, where the bass will start spawning, largemouth and spots, and then all of a sudden, nah, we ain't doing that for about 4 weeks because they go chase herring.
Right.
They're like, we're not spawning
Right.
because the herring, the past 2 years, I mean, I guess I've seen more in the past 2 years this big.
Yeah.
And
some
it's
big
hard.
ones.
It's hard. You can't convince me that a predatory fish, when a bunch of these size get together,
Right.
they're going to forget about what else they're doing because all that is a power bar. I say it all the time.
Right, yeah.
Oh, I say
Cliff
it all
bar.
the time. Though. I mean, a herring is like a protein shake compared to threadfin.
I don't think Brock Turner likes your singing either. Or
I don't like my singing either, too.
I thought it was great.
I like-
you every
That's
step of
rough.
the way.
I'd like to announce I'm no longer going to Fish North Georgia. I hear Hammond's is really
Listen,
good.
listen, there you go.
The dugout bait and tackle.
Hey, listen. Hey, that's
Now he's going to American Idol.
Hey, listen. I have. Listen. Listen. We support all our local bait shops. Hammond's, Dugout, all of them. Oakwood Bait and Tackle. One thing. No, it ain't no shade. One thing Josh says when he's around here, and it's one of the few things he ever says that makes sense, is if you got enough confidence in what you're doing, there's plenty of room for the other guys right there. So, but that's what you need to do with your singing. So, like,
Okay,
once your
okay.
voice changes, what are you, 10? How old are you really? Seriously?
About
17?
9 years old.
9?
Yeah.
What are you really, though? 17?
Yeah, 17.
17?
So you don't even know who Guns N' Roses is.
No, he had no idea.
I'm
he didn't
way
know
too
the
young
second
for-
verse of the
I didn't
song.
know.
Hey, now wait a minute. He said, what did he say a while ago? Classic rock.
He did say classic rock,
Classic
but that
rock.
might be that emo 90s music
Oh
like
my
Josh
God,
listens
no.
to. That's classic rock. I don't like life. Remember what I sung that? I hate life. That's what Josh get down here playing it. I hate life and the world's all against us and jigga jing jang jang and all that stuff. So
Chitty chitty bang bang.
chitty chitty bang bang. It's depressing to listen to the music Josh listens to. It makes me want to cry. So he does sing like a voice coming from the sink of a garbage disposal. Hey, there you go. So oh look, Hancock likes that. He's thrilled to get the fish Lanier and he doesn't have to bring his boat. Hey, that's a plus, man. But first, seriously, Kevin will get in touch with you. I'll make sure I actually got his number if you want to call him, or either way, I can vice versa. We'll do that. That'd be a lot of knowledge on that boat. Y'all can share a lot of stuff right there. That might be just as good for you. Man knows what he's doing about spinnerbait.
Yeah.
He's going to throw a 2-ounce spinnerbait with a head size of a football and a blade about the size of that blueback herring you were talking about a little while ago, won't he?
So depending on the lake where I go, I love throwing a spinnerbait. But now I throw my spinnerbait a little different than Mr. Hancock does. I'm not throwing the big old heavy one.
You gotta try it.
Now I'm throwing a 5/8 spinnerbait, but I'm changing the blades to get down deeper. I'll put smaller blades on if I want to go deeper.
Okay, so that's interesting. So now you're saying, because he talks about, an ounce, but you're saying you shorten your blades to get depth.
I'll decrease the size of them. I'll take what comes on a 3/8 ounce spinnerbait.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the blades off and I'll put them on that 5/8 ounce spinnerbait and I'll get it deeper.
Okay, so that's a little tip like that.
Yeah.
That's actually of all the people that we've talked to over the last year, I've never heard nobody doing that.
But now I fish my spinnerbait in the brush a lot too. I'll fish it deep. I'll fish it in 30-foot brush. I'll make a long cast. I'll watch it on 360. I'll sit there. I'll make that long cast. I'll slow roll it up there to the brush.
Yeah.
Pop it over the brush, and they will hammer it.
That's
certain times of the year.
That's a good thing. And we've had this conversation in here that the spinnerbait is not cool, outdated. Everybody's throwing a chatterbait or stuff like that, but nobody talks about throwing it deep. Oh, I mean Hancock
It's
does.
outdated.
It's outdated, but nobody on the near is throwing a spinnerbait down in the brush like that, or at least they're not talking about it as much.
I do.
you?
I'm not
You
doing
like throw
it.
it?
I'm not doing it right now, but there's certain times of the year when I'm doing it.
Do you have the trailer, a particular trailer you like to do on your spinnerbait?
I don't put a trailer on it. I'll just put a trailer hook on it.
Trailer hook. Okay.
Yeah, I'll put one of them sticky Gamakatsu trailer hooks on
Okay.
it. And they're sticky. They got
Why-
a G finesse.
Why no
hook.
trailer? Just out of curiosity. Just because you want that extra hook there, or you just don't think it's
Well,
worth it?
if you're fishing it deep, if you put a trailer on it, you're defeating the purpose of getting it
That's true. Yeah, there you
deep. So
go.
if I take the smaller blades and put on the heavier spinnerbait to get it deeper, I'm not going to get it deep if I put a trailer on it.
Makes sense.
So-
Makes perfect sense. How about you there, Sinatra?
Oh my god.
Huh? That's what I'm gonna call you from now on, Sinatra. I thought you did a good. I appreciate you playing.
Oh.
So, but seriously, when you throw a spinnerbait deep, what are you trying to do? Do you do the pop like him, or I mean, how do you
It's
do
just
it?
a slow roll for me. I mean, you just throw it out there and you just let it, kind of where you throw like an underspin or something. I mean, you can get it up on humps on rocks or get it through that brush. Those smaller blades, you can also roll it faster. If you want to keep it way up high and just go fast,
Right.
it'll kind of scoot through the water pretty quick.
Both of you, when you do this, are you feeling you ticking the bottom like that? If you're
That's
throwing
good
around,
sometimes.
do you throw it around rocks? Because you said brush. He mentioned rocks.
I'll throw around rocks, whatever, but I don't really, to me a spinnerbait's good through brush.
Okay, you stick it right down in there.
It'll go through that brush. If I'm on rock, I'll kind of opt out for a crankbait on the rock
That
before a spinnerbait.
that's a
'cause
good thing, Chris, right there.
that spinnerbait, it'll come through that brush for me a lot better than the crankbait will. I mean, crankbait will come through there. If you get the right crankbait, it'll come through the brush.
Right.
But spinnerbait to me was made to come through that brush.
Okay, that makes. Remember, before spy baits, we would throw small spinner baits across
do it.
brush. That's a lost technique.
Yep.
shaking your head. You 17 years old. You don't know.
It's lost. Quit
This
telling them.
is like being at a hunting club.
Yeah.
You understand how this works? We're like at the hunting club, and you're just the youngest one, and we can't make you go get us beer or nothing like that. So we're just going to have to make you sing and stuff like that. So that's what we're doing.
He's shaving his head.
He's shaving his head. Yeah. I tell you what, I got some cool new Berkeley spy baits up there. They came in today finally, the Berkeley 70s and stuff like that. So they look really good. You guys need to check them out. They're on the website, fishnorthgeorgia.com. What size rod are you using with that spinner bait? And I'm assuming he's talking about with the smaller, the 5/8 and the smaller.
So I'm throwing it on a medium heavy fast action rod. I typically, that's what I throw my spinnerbait on. And I'm throwing it on normally 20-pound fluorocarbon.
Okay. There's the next question. And Hancock, I don't know if he's asking you or him. So we answered the lightweight. If Michael wanted to know about the heavyweight, you can answer him right there in the comments, Tim. But Travis Smith, what are the ideal colors you throw and blade colors, sizes, stuff like that?
So for spinnerbait,
Yeah.
I'm throwing typically something with some white, maybe a little bit of silver flash in it, and depending on
There you go.
where I'm at, sometimes I'll dip the blades white. I got some dip that I'll dip them white or paint them white.
There you go.
So
Yeah, that's a good song. We need to set that song up. Can you sing that song?
Oh my god! If you make
Can you know Freak Nasty?
No.
I
just
put
gonna-
my
I'm-
hand up on
This
you.
goes out to all the
When I
women in
dip,
the
you
world,
dip, we dip.
especially her.
I'm saying no to everything from now
Man,
on.
wait.
I'm saying no to everything from now on.
That's
Yep.
a smart
Yep.
kid right there. That's
he's
very
not
smart.
coming on Thursday no more.
Oh no!
Yeah, no, listen. He says he won't. Listen, he says he won't. He will. He's having a good time.
Only time I can come because it's after school and I'm no more.
Well, I tell you what, I promise. Listen,
School.
he's going to Hammond's, right? Hammond's be closed.
Hammond's closed.
Speaking of which, that's right. Hammond's ain't got no live show. I mean, Tim ain't that. He ain't that interesting. He's a nice guy though.
Relo says, "Sup, Kevin."
But what I would say is this. Is while we're doing that next week, starting Tuesday, we're actually having normal hours for our store here at Fish North Georgia. It will be Tuesday through Friday, 12 to 8. All right, so we're going to try a little bit different. We're not going to be open in the mornings. We're going to be open in the evenings for you guys getting off work right there, 12 to 8. And then Saturday it will be 8 to 4:30, 8 to 5, whatever, whenever I get bored and decide to go home. Closed Sunday. You know we need to be on Sundays. And Ryan. And and then I'm going to get him. He's going to go to church with me on Sunday. And then Monday will be our travel day for True Grit and stuff like that, going to visit our stores and stuff like that. So, again,
Heavy
12 to
action.
8. 7-10 heavy action. But again, Tim's throwing a 2-pound spinnerbait. Yeah, he's throwing. Yeah, it's ready for.
No, but let's straighten that hook, boy.
But you did good. I appreciate you doing that. You ain't quite to Bill Payne status. So Bill Payne was great. Bill, I didn't know I was going to sing porn, Danny.
What is that for you, Ryan, with that heavy action?
Can y'all call my work and tell them I need to be back on the water instead of at work? I tell you what I will do.
That's what one said Tuesday.
For $5, I'll start carrying them up here. I will give work excuses. All right, Brock, I'll call you tomorrow. I'll start selling work excuses where I will sign out a work excuse for you to get on the water for anybody.
Justin, he
right.
fishes with me. So he's my partner in the club tournament.
Oh, I got you. Well, we can do that. Is this
Give him a work excuse.
Is this like a grand opening, Danny? Well, we kind of missed the grand opening because we've kind of been open for a month. I mean, for a year, but not open. No, not really. Actually, Josh said when we actually really do have a grand opening, we're gonna have like barbecue and stuff like that and all that.
Probably explain what's happening next week.
We can do that too in a second. I will.
Okay.
All right. So, but what we're gonna do, it's just that way I'll be at the store. 12 to 8. I'm gonna be at the store.
Because there'll be a vehicle here when you're
And there will be a vehicle. Yeah, here's also to make a little bit of an announcement. Mr. Ryan here will start Monday because it's not Labor Day Monday. That's the following Monday. Yeah, you said Monday. But anyway, Mr. Sheffield will be employed here starting Monday full time, working for our True Grit department here, and we'll be pouring and doing baits. We're going to get all these shaky heads, the spinner baits, stuff like that. So if you come by, and the reason we're telling you this, if you come by at 10:30 and you see a truck here that will be parked towards the back, the store may be closed. But Ryan is downstairs pouring, and I will be in roughly 11, 12 o'clock like that. So we look forward to having his goofy butt here, but also to bring his expertise to our bait company, as he knows a lot about jigs, and we've got big plans with that. So he's already talking about stuff I need to order that we've got to get going. So again,
making that money.
Gonna make some money. So I'm not sure who it was that fell out at the expo last Saturday. I'm not sure if he made it. I didn't know anything about somebody falling out at the expo because I had to pull out, so I'm not sure. But again, we'll if anybody knows a little bit more about that, let us know. I haven't heard that. So, yeah, Chris, it's going to be good because it's going to free me up to do stuff that I'm more qualified to do, and Ryan is more qualified to doing that. So, but again, I didn't tell everybody about how to win the rod.
Yeah, I need to talk about that.
Let me do that. Can we do it right now?
Yeah, we got time.
All right, so
That'll be good because we can finish that last 45 minutes
with him, and I ain't going to worry about it.
Yes.
Okay, so perfect. So what we're going to do for the month, starting tonight and continuing all the way through the month of September, okay? Any order at fishnorthgeorgia.com or TrueGritTackleCompany.com, any order over $49.99 will be entered into a drawing for a free FX titanium. This is his high level. It's about $324 retail right there. So of your choice, it can be any of them that we have in stock. Any order over $49.99 on either one of our two platforms, you get one entry. If your order is over $99, you get 5 entries. If you buy an e-propulsion motor from us of any size, we're going to give you 10 entries into that thing right there. So that's just something that you can think about. But definitely, if you, any order over $49.99, that'll get you 1 entry. If you've never used an extreme rod, I mean not extreme, a titanium, good rod. Absolutely, I put it right up there with anything on sensitivity. But we'll casting or spinning. We're going to be having a draw on September 30th on the show. That's a Thursday night. So September 30th, we'll allow people to buy right up until showtime, and we will draw out right here, and we will be in contact with you. So again, that's starting tonight and running the whole month of September. So go to fishnorthgeorgia.com. I'm actually adding a lot of stuff this week. I got a lot of Berkeley stuff that's come in. You guys looking for the generals. I got a few hitworms, stuff like that. And they're in stock now. Plus, I've got some of these Berkeley swimmers, like very similar to the Kitech styles and all that. So they're actually pretty cool. So anyway, you guys can do that, and we will have that drawn, and we'll talk more about it as we go. So now,
Like a motorcycle gang.
it is a motorcycle gang is going by outside. So I was really, I know we were going to talk Dropshot, and we can go to the Dropshot like that, but I got really interested in the spinnerbait, for a little bit longer. I want to talk about that. Why do you think it's an outdated concept with people? Why do people not use the spinnerbait as much as they used to?
Because you can throw other things in different conditions when the spinnerbait needs better conditions.
So I've caught them when it was dead slick on spinnerbait.
A lot of people won't throw one if it's dead slick.
I've hammered them up on Burton on the spinnerbait,
That's
and everybody else was saying,
Right?
throw that big swim bait. All I could catch up there was them little pikes.
Right?
I went throwing that spinnerbait.
Yeah.
Man, they come unglued on it.
But that's Burton. Burton's a unicorn.
Well, why?
Burton's not your typical lake.
It's not, but why do you, Jeremy Eaton, it's a hush-hush bait. A lot of people throw it more than you think. Well, that might be it. But nobody likes to talk about throwing a spinnerbait. It's like, you look tomorrow, pay attention more. Now, I don't want everybody posting spinnerbait stuff, but if you go back and look through today, look through the post on Fish North Georgia's group page last week. You don't see many spinnerbait pictures ever. Go back through the entire summer, very few. But you got chatterbaits, you got jigs, you got, shaky heads, all that. But a spinnerbait has stood the test of time. We sell them, people still buy them. So maybe it is a hush-hush bait nobody's talking about.
Maybe so.
Maybe so like that.
I'll post you some pictures.
You should.
We'll coming up.
Tournaments have been one on that jackhammer. Well, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, and Jeremiah, this is something that I will say this. A lot of these guys, if you watch them, a lot of these guys ain't catching some of these fish that they're putting them, you know what I'm saying? They're taking these pictures with. Not everybody's catching them on jackhammers. Now, I'm not saying it's not chatterbaits, but you know what I'm saying? I've seen as many fish caught on a cheaper chatterbait than I have on a jackhammer.
And
I
so
know
people said that not last classic, but the classic before last.
The fire crawl
The
one?
fire crawl was what won the classic. Not exactly, because Hank Cherry's kickers that he had on days 2 and day 3 came on a jerkbait. He filled a limit with a jackhammer, but his big fish that helped him win that first tournament
was on a jerk.
was on the jerkbait.
What's up, Tatum?
And this year, people was throwing the jackhammer down there in Texas. But if you notice the people throwing the jackhammer, they weren't doing as good as the other guys. And again, the jerkbait came into play again
Big time.
for Hank Cherry.
And those are coming here. Yeah.
So, I mean, but we could get into a big old long discussion about the jackhammer and about other chatterbaits and the difference between the chatterbait and the spinnerbait.
Right.
And we could talk for hours
Right.
about it. But really and truly, it comes down to, a confidence thing.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather some people feel better about throwing a jackhammer or a chatterbait or a bladed jig rather than throwing a spinnerbait. Some guys, they feel like, and it's just guys that I've talked to personally, they feel like a spinnerbait sometimes just too much of a profile. It puts out too much flash, it puts out too much profile. And a chatterbait is just a little bit more smaller. It still puts out the vibration, still puts out the flash, but it's not this in-your-face profile. And yes, it is something that a lot of people kind of keep hush-hush about because none of the pro guys win many tournaments on spinnerbaits anymore. Now, back in the 90s and the 80s, the spinnerbait was king. If you wasn't throwing a spinnerbait, you weren't going to win a particular tournament.
Right.
You know, whether it was bass or anything.
You want to
know,
answer
like
that real quick? Sounds like you don't like the jackhammer too much.
I personally, the jackhammer's overhyped.
What do you agree with him?
So for me, I think the reason that the jackhammer costs so much money is because they use upgraded everything on it.
It's got a tungsten head.
Is because it costs more money to make that.
Right.
So, you know, when I think of buying quality for me, you know, I spend the extra money to get tungsten weights on my drop shot. And a lot of people, I'm not a real big chatterbait fisherman. I'll skip them around dots periodically.
What's up, Barday?
But, you know, like I said, I think it's the confidence in quality of product is why people invest so much into the jackhammer.
And I really probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to anyway.
Oh, here we go.
A lot of people take chatterbait fishing and they fish it like a spinnerbait. And in reality, you shouldn't do that. It's not. You'll catch some fish doing that.
Right.
But as a comment up there, I can't get a nibble on a fire crawl. I bet you throw that fire crawl and just throw it and reel it back. That fire crawl, if you're not throwing a 3/8 or a ½ ounce size, and you don't have some kind of crawl top trailer on the back of it, and you're not throwing it up there, and you're not letting it sink, and you're not pointing your rod down at it, and you're not trying to fish it like a crankbait, you're not going to get bit on that fire crawl.
Hey, listen, the Angry Chiropractor. Right there. That's a name right there. We don't want to go to the Angry Chiropractor.
Well,
you don't want to buy. That's a great name, though. I love it.
Who said that?
The Angry Chiropractor. That's his name right there.
He's going to do some work on you.
The jackhammer doesn't have a tungsten head. The Daiwa TG, which is purely on the JDM, is the one with the tungsten head.
The jackhammer has a tungsten head. I'm sorry, but the jackhammer has a tungsten head.
I have no idea. Jason Christie won the Bass Elite on Sabine this year with a spinnerbait.
Yep.
Michael Fox. What's up, Michael? So I've asked that question several times in several shows. Why all of a sudden it's just we just don't see people holding up pictures of these big. Now, is it because the lakes up here in North Georgia, spotted bass, tend to not do it? Like if I'm on a farm pond, largemouth lake.
Man, they'll eat.
I think that.
Man,
I know they will, but what I'm saying is,
dude, there's a population on all these lakes of spotted bass that don't act like spotted bass.
Oh, it might be.
They don't act like spotted bass.
Google it. All right, I will. I'm going to Google it, man. I will do that afterwards. He might be saying Google that. I thought I was going to Google the Angry Chiropractor.
Unless they changed it this year, it was made out of tungsten.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I just know
that was the whole thing when it come out. They're like, "Oh, it's got tungsten head because it has a different sound," and they were showing video of it.
Wyatt Richards, listen, he's one of these up and comers. Now the jackhammer has a tungsten head, just like the Thunder Cricket and other high-end bladed jigs.
I mean, because when you look, because that's what the thing about the jackhammer was. They were like, it's got a different sound under the water when the blades click in because of the tungsten.
But I thought that the reason the jackhammer cost so much was to cover the lawsuits. I've read a lot about
Z-Man's got the name chatter. You can't make a chatterbait and call it a chatterbait.
What was that? What's that? It was that Green? What is that company?
Evergreen.
Evergreen's
the one who
reason.
invented the jackhammer, and then Z-Man makes the Evergreen jackhammer. Also, they have some kind of.
Yeah, I don't know what goes on. I've seen that before. I've noticed that.
I've seen that, and I've read a little bit, but I don't know if it's true or not. They might
have had some kind of partnership deal.
Maybe. I don't know. But I do know that people are very loyal if they throw jackhammers. They're very loyal to the brand. And
I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with the bait by no means. No. But me personally, I think it's overhyped.
Right. And Barday, he always, what is the Picasso one?
The shock blade. They make another one. They make one with like a football head. I'll throw that one a lot.
You like the football?
I think that's the shock blade.
I know there's another one. There's one with like a normal like lead head, looks kind of like a bait fish, and then there's one with that tungsten head.
They got.
I like that football head a lot. That tungsten football.
They got a swim bait version of it with the shock blade, and then they've got that.
So here's what we need. Here's what we need to do. All right, so right, because Gayton says jackhammers have lead heads, upgraded blade, snap, split ring, and hooks. So we've got us a controversy going here.
Yeah, I know they've got upgraded blades, snap,
Yeah.
split rings, and hooks, but I'm not sure about
I don't
the.
see anything on the Googles about.
I'm actually going to pull up the
Oh, the
Tackle warehouse
The
right here.
Japanese ones have tungsten.
the Japanese
The
jackhammer
Japanese
does have
jackhammers
tungsten resin.
The American jackhammers don't.
Oh, look at that! It
So,
says
I mean,
coating a lead core though.
It depends upon. I guess it depends upon which one. See, I knew some of them they were made with tungsten head.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I mean, it says it right here. The Japanese ones are made with tungsten.
So the ZMan Everett, we're going to do the expensive one. I'm going to read you just what Tackle Warehouse says.
It's not the evergreen. That's the Japanese one.
This is a Japanese.
Do I need to zoom in? Are you going to make the sale, or are you just going to read?
Hell, I don't sell these things. I can't afford them. So
They're $18.
I'm doing it. They're $18.99. I'm doing this. So I'm just trying to see. Featuring an exclusive low center of gravity head with a flat bottom, super thin yet strong stainless steel blade. La 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 la. I don't see nothing yet about tungsten. A channel groove along the bottom of the head also positions the blade, prevents the blade. Premium hand-tied silicone rubber skirts. It doesn't say. At least on this one. I'm sure you can pull it up. It don't say nothing. Right. It's got a California, they prop one, and they prop one and everything right there.
I believe if it had tungsten, they would definitely
Yeah,
list
say
it as
Yeah, it's always the first thing.
because that's
Is
a
like,
selling point.
yeah, tungsten head.
So
Tungsten weight.
you guys in the comments section, I definitely appreciate all that because that's an interesting conversation that's going on right now, and mini argument, not really argument. You guys, some say it is, some say it isn't, and we found out the Japanese is or at least it's been told that the Japanese version is a lead core tungsten resin. That's what somebody said. It had a tungsten resin over lead
That's
core.
what it says right
Yeah.
here. The evergreen JDM jackhammer is a tungsten lead core. The ZMan chatterbait jackhammer is lead. So I mean,
There you go. But the reality, what the heck does it matter on a chatterbait? I mean, you're moving it.
So when that
sounds-
blade
Just
hits the cheeks of the
The sound might be a little
Yeah.
it
different.
sounds a little
Might
Yeah.
tick a little different. Or
that lead
That's
kind of
interesting.
absorbs it. You'll see that lead also get worn down when it's beaten against the cheeks of the chatterbait because that blade.
I have never not been able to
knocks
keep
the
one
head
long
every
enough to do
time.
that. I always lose them.
That's why I like that football head because it'll really knock it. I mean, you can really see it.
Okay, that's pretty cool. That's an
Well, I
interesting thing.
admit I was wrong completely, but I wasn't exactly.
I thought it was
100%
tungsten
wrong.
too.
Well, that's why I
Because
said
I never see it wear.
So the JDM one, the evergreen jackhammer, is tungsten lead core.
Mhm.
Yes.
But the actual Z-Man is lead.
correct.
So if you pick up the one with the Japanese flag on it, that one's going to be tungsten.
Do they cost the
Go ahead.
same?
Yes. They're both like $18.
One would think that you put if you got the same stuff, but you got a little tungsten
You're
around it.
paying tungsten money for lead.
Tungsten money for lead.
yeah, right.
That's tungsten money for lead.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, listen, it is what it is, but that's actually interesting. I know we would. I don't know why we got. So that's one thing I love about this show. You never know where it's going to go. I didn't plan on talking about chatterbaits, but there you go.
Spinnerbait,
Chris just texted me, hey, sorry, man, my phone's upstairs, buddy, but I'll have to hit you back later. The Picasso with the football head is the tungsten knocker.
Yeah, that one's good.
So there you go.
Really good.
And also, Barday, while I got you, I haven't reached out to him. Fletcher had a pretty good finish, or at least the last time I saw. I don't know where he ended up in the National Professional Fishing League's tournament. Good grief, it was up north.
I don't know where that place was.
It was Weed? No,
It
it's a W Lake, whatever.
It was up in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. But I did notice that William Fletcher, and he is from Georgia. He's down Woodstock way, something like that, I think. I know we followed Jesse, but I know that he had a really good finish, or was at least at one point was pretty high up in that tournament. He was, I want to say, top 10 at one point, so that's pretty impressive. So you fish. I'm on since I just mentioned tournament. I know you fish some BFLs.
Yeah.
Okay. What division do you fish?
The Bulldog
You fish the Bulldog. What lakes does that go to?
goes to Lanier, Oconee,
Uh-huh.
Sinclair, Eufaula, back to Lanier, and I think the regional this year is going to be St. John's. I'm not 100% sure on that. This is my first year doing it.
Winnebago, there you go. Finished 7th on Winnebago. He did have a good show, and that's one of the things I noticed. I was looking to see. I turned it on. I wanted to see what Millsaps was in the order, and I saw Fletcher. So we'll, extend our congratulations to him if you can tell him that. And we still want to get him and you on a show. Barday said he would come on a show if I could get Fletcher to come on with him. So would love to have you two on. And so
Barday has too many stipulations.
No, Barday don't. He's a nice guy.
I gotta have Fletcher.
He just said Fletcher. That's one
I
stipulation.
know, that's a stipulation. Though.
Well, he's shy. He's about 8 foot
He
2.
ain't shy.
He's 8 foot.
Barday's shy.
He's 8'2", but he's camera shy.
I
Does he still wear his overalls during the summer?
don't know.
I'm just curious. That stuff. I saw a shaky head with a chatterbait blade on it. What y'all's thought about that one? I actually have some blades up there. You pretty much can stick a chatterbait
can
blade
do
on
that, yeah.
anything. You can stick it on a regular jig, skip cast jig, and it becomes a chatterbait kind of. So anyway, so back to the BFLs. What do you think is the hardest thing in planning for that, going from a spotted bass fishery like Lanier to you started popping off largemouth lakes?
Yeah, so I mean, it's different. Like Oconee and Lanier, yeah, you're not going to go down to Oconee and do what you do at Lanier.
Absolutely. So,
that's
what goes into your planning though, as far as that? I mean, when you're thinking, what's your strengths? Spotted bass or largemouth?
so.
What do you think? A little bit of everything.
Well, I mean, I've got more experience on Lanier because I'm right here with it all the time.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I do occasionally go down and fish under other lakes. But when I go prepare for a BFL tournament, I try to do my homework. I try to get down there, see what's going on with the lake, figure out where the fish are, what they're doing. Oconee, I did pretty good down there. Won a big fish down there.
What was the big fish?
It was a 6'8".
6'8".
6'8".
Okay. There you go. What'd you catch it on?
Caught it on Dropshot, believe it or not.
Oh, well,
not contradicting
Caught it on the
myself.
drop shot.
He calls me after this tournament. He said, I got big fish. And I said, did you? He said, you ain't going to believe me what I caught it on. And I said, what? He said, a drop shot. And I said,
So
huh?
All right, tell us a story about this big fish.
let me explain.
You're going to have to. You're going to have to.
All right,
I
so
told him, you lying.
me and a buddy of mine went down there the weekend before the weekend of the BFL. And
For those of you that are slow, that's 2 weeks.
well,
Kind of? The weekend before the weekend? Or
well,
is that 1 week?
The weekend before.
1 week. Okay, there we go. So I was
1 week. 1 week out.
1 week out.
The Saturday before the Saturday.
The Saturday before the Saturday.
There you
Okay,
go.
there we go.
All right, so fished up the lake. Caught a giant up the lake, 11-pounder on a crankbait,
Man blade.
and went down the lake. Fished around down there. It was kind of dead. Went into this one pocket.
Right?
And in that one pocket, there was like so many little buck bass in there. It was ridiculous.
Mhm.
So when the buck bass are in the pocket, and that's all you can catch out of that pocket that time of the year, you better pay attention to that pocket because the big ones are going to come. They're going in there to make beds and spawn. That's what they were doing there.
Right.
So the weekend before that, went in there with a flipping rod and sit there, and it was like lassoing fish out. And I mean, it's just these little pound and a halfers. I mean, it was funny.
Right.
You'd cast, you'd hit a little hole in the grass, and tink, you set the hook on him, he'd come flying up over the boat. And it was funny
Right.
seeing these little fish, hitting it like that. But that's what they were doing. So the day of the BFL, fished around a little bit. When the sun got up a little bit, where I thought, hey, I can go down there and spot fish on bed.
Right.
So I went down there and flipped around that pocket. Didn't get a bite. Flipped over there in this one little hole and seen this fish. It flashed. It looked like a license plate
Right.
in the water. It was kind of stained, so you couldn't really see it very good, but you seen that little flash. So I was like, man, that's a big one right there. I sit there and I flipped and I flipped and I flipped and I flipped. I had the poles down. My guy on the back of the boat, he's sitting there. He's like, oh man, this guy, he's going to sit here and fish for this one fish the rest of the day. And I ain't going to catch nothing for the rest of the day. But yeah, so finally I was like, well, done flipped everything in there on it, and so, all right, picked up the drop shot, a prism shad robo worm, flipped it up there, and the leader length was just long enough for that worm to sit there and hang about maybe an inch or two under the water.
Right.
I'll just let it sit there. It sit there for a few minutes, and finally that big and he come up and just suck that thing down. Caught that fish. Drop shot.
On a drop shot.
And then broke another one off.
On a drop shot.
On a drop shot.
Oh,
broke another one off.
On Oconee.
On Oconee.
On Oconee on a drop shot.
On Oconee. One big fish down there.
That's insane. That's crazy.
So yeah. But drop shot can come into play in a lot of different things.
That's very true. Let me back to the angry chiropractor real quick. No, I didn't see that they had stocked that. That's pretty cool. I used to live when I was really young for a couple years in LaGrange. So I remember West Point back in the day, but I mean I was really young, and I'm 49 now, so you're talking good grief, 40 years ago. So I can remember guys, this is no lie. You hunt? Kevin, you hunt? You deer hunt? Not really. Well, I do, but back in the day, I remember being little guys that were in bucket trucks, the electric company bucket trucks, seeing them part with guys up in deer hunting out of bucket trucks.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, they did. I'm not lying. Back in the day,
0 or 0?
I don't even know what you're saying. What are you doing?
He's back here making
I was
sounds.
back here talking about Oconee. I said, you go to Oconee and fish anytime March through May. All you need to.
The drop shot is the deadliest
all
rig
you
in
need to do.
bass fishing. I've never seen it fail ever, says Jeremiah.
It did today. I couldn't get a fish on. Well, I caught
It'll do
one
that.
fish on drop shot today.
How
I
about
caught
you?
one fish.
Those days are when topwater works too. Every time.
So generally, if top water's hot,
But I hammered them on Fluke today.
Yep.
so why you think that is?
I don't know. Last weekend happened to me. Sunday especially.
Hey, Eric Payne, how are you, buddy?
I think it's a time of day thing for the drop shot.
Yeah.
And, I think when they generate that water has a lot to do with it, too. Whenever that current goes through that brush and fish get active.
Okay, what do you think about? And I'm going to get back on the tournament stuff real quick. But what about a Demiki rig? You throw any of that stuff since you throw drop shot?
Yeah, a little bit. I throw fish head spin some, something like that on it.
Right.
Same kind of deal. We'll put that on a
Just
fish
put a
head
blade
spin.
on it and pop it through and stuff like
yeah,
that.
I mean,
Okay, what about you?
I don't throw it as much. Now, once it gets to winter, I mean, that's better. But, I mean, honestly, like right now I'm fishing brush piles that get so high. I mean, you're basically right below the boat.
Okay.
So I like that drop shot, and I like to drag the fish through with it. I like to screen all of those spaghetti noodles come down with your bait, and then that's when you know you got them.
Yeah.
When they come down with
When
it.
you see all
you'll
that,
see
all
them
that
there
traffic.
Yeah.
gather up and just
Yeah,
go.
you think that's a thick brush pile until all of it collapses down with your bait.
Yeah, you're like, man, that ain't even a brush pile. That's all fish.
That's right. So, real quick, I want to tell everybody next Thursday night we will be having Dane Hunter and Alex Pierce on the show. They were the ABA 125.
Yes.
Yeah, 125. They got so many numbers right there. I always want to make sure. And they're going to be on next week, and we're going to be talking. Of course, we'll be talking about the ABA and their trail, and we'll be talking about Allatoona and some of the lakes that those guys are fishing as well. So that's next Thursday. And then again, we invited Nathan. Didn't we? It was Nathan. We invited him the following Thursday. I don't know if he'll show up. I don't know if he'll do that. He's camera shy. So, Kurt, Mr. We Hunt, there you go. He's a Dodger fan.
I said
that's
that
a
in
shame.
my.
What?
He's a Dodger fan. I
Get
think.
out of here.
Yeah, he's a Dodger fan. I noticed that. He's always knocking the Braves or something. He's a Dodger fan.
So he hammered them later on today on a drop shot. That's the exact same thing I wrote in my post today.
That day,
I wrote it in
as
there.
the day was going on, you thought it would change.
I said it. I think the drop shot bite would pick up later on in the
There's
day.
Dane. He's in there. Yeah, that's right. Trying to get Andrew from Division 35 to come with us. That's fine. And if he don't, yeah, you two are just fine. So we'll be discussing that. True Grit will be the sponsor, or one of the sponsors. Actually, it's supposed to be the exclusive jig sponsor. I'll get that down right. I ain't said it, of the ABA 125. So we appreciate it. And I look forward to talking to you guys next Thursday on that. I don't know the date yet. I can't pull it up. I'm not very good. What brand of swivel is good? Now,
Bro.
Don't
That's
even,
unanimous.
Don't even.
What
about
makes a
other
Spro swivel so much better
It's
than the
just
others?
built better.
Strong.
It's strong. It's just
Strong, built better.
So-
What's that, Paul?
And smaller.
Smaller, get more for less.
So one thing that I've noticed about the Spro swivel versus other swivels is the capabilities of it spinning are a
I
lot
wanna say
better.
here, right?
Yeah, I mean it just it stays it spins better.
It's just a better component.
I think so.
I noticed Kurt didn't say nothing about being a Dodger fan because he didn't want to upset all these Braves fans around here. So, Facebook user, post your location so I can come visit. Our location is 11262 Highway 53, Marble Hill, Georgia, 30148. And I'll post that. I will be around tomorrow. I sure will, all day. Again, starting next week, Tuesday through Friday, 12 to 8. Saturdays, 8 to 4:30, 8 to 5, depending on what we do. Look at Go Dodgers.
Answer that spinning ring question.
Where is it at? So
2,500, 3,000.
2,500, 3,000. Missouri, George, and Scottsdale.
I 25 for shaking head or for
Shaking
drop
head.
shot? You like that?
Shaking head. I ain't never heard it
Shaking
called
head.
that.
You've never heard that?
No, sir. Shaky head, but I like shaking better, to be honest with you. But what size Shimano reel did you have? Did you say you had a Shimano?
Yeah.
What is
so,
that you got on there?
So this one here, before I stick myself with that G
Watch the light
finesse,
bulb.
this one here is the
It's a KZ. Did remember that?
huh?
That's from
This
Mr.
is
Hollis
a 3000.
Yeah.
This is a 3000 I have on here.
A 3,000. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's a 3,000 that he's got right there. So, Mr. Hollis Latham, I know a lot of Mr. Hollis Lathams. That depends on which one. You got give me your initials, so I can do that. But yeah, Brian, come by and see me tomorrow for sure. We'll be here. So, what's the difference for those that don't know? Explain the difference between a 2,500 and a 3,000. Just spool
3000
size.
is a little bigger.
Just spool size. And so, what is there any reason for going with a 3,000 on a drop shot or anything like that?
I mean, I use these Shimano reels because I like them.
You just like it. It's just
I
what's
like 'em. They're
you know
good.
what
I've got some 2500s too though. I mean, there's really not that much difference between the 2500 and the 3000. Spool size is a little bigger on the 3000. I think they actually have the same gear ratio. I think they both have a 6:1
Oh,
gear
Terry,
ratio.
how you do? Oh, there you go, Terry. What's up, buddy? He's my neighbor. Yeah, you are Mr. Latham there.
I think.
Right?
So, I mean, without looking it up, I
Yeah.
think they're pretty close to a 6:1 ratio.
Gotcha.
As far as the
It doesn't matter that much. With a drop shot, a small light reel, good drag.
yeah,
Right,
I mean,
right.
Something you keep in your hand. I mean,
Really?
you're just straight down.
with
Gotcha.
the gear ratio, when you set the hook and you catch a big one, it's going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, so
Make
the
that
gear
noise,
ratio.
come on.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Uh,
a good drag system on a
That's
drop
the
shot
best.
rod is a lot more important than a gear ratio.
God almighty.
yeah, that's what they do. A 3,000 picks up a tad more line per revolution is all. I get that. So, yeah.
Get in the boat.
Oh, that's But speaking of which, I'm asking you about your reel, and you're like, well, I just I like it. I think sometimes we overcomplicate stuff.
Yeah, I
too.
mean,
just go with something that feels good in your hands and you like it. So
It's
Um,
good. It works.
there are no herring. We are used to herring lakes, and they are a game changer. Jeremy, I have no idea what you're talking about there, but I mean, what do you think?
Flipping
Flipping?
the button on the.
Back
reel.
Gotcha. Ever tried back reeling?
It's dumb.
No.
Is that where you hold it upside down?
No.
No.
That's where you have the.
Back reeling.
Back reeling.
Upside down.
Hey, listen, I don't do it. I don't know what it is.
That was before they invented drag systems.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
No, I mean, I've heard that before.
I don't
For me,
read too
I've,
much
I've
into this
never
stuff.
really.
It's-
I've never
it doesn't-
really
Older spinning
worked
reels
in
that
the.
underneath them right here, they have this little switch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can
You flip
reverse
that
it.
switch,
just goes crazy.
reverses
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
back reeling.
Oh
you
well,
only
hell!
get
Who did? I can't even reel
Now
regular.
you just
Yeah.
sit
Right.
there
Yeah. If
with your drags like that. That's all you
I
do.
know a 3,000 balances some longer spinning rods too, and that's
That's right.
that's a good tip right there too.
Yeah, I
so.
mean,
balance
you,
is
you,
huge.
you get a little bit more reel. You get a little bit more weight. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You can get a better balance on some longer
I got
rods.
you. Like there you
That
go.
makes sense.
It does make sense. So we got some really smart
I
people
agree
that
with
watch
that.
this show. He can't help it if he's a Dodger fan, but other than that, we like old Kurt. So
I just laugh at
you laugh at what?
it. The finesse fisherman.
Well, I said, you don't
Oh
like
my
these
God.
episodes, do you? Do you? You really don't like the finesse
I'm
episodes?
gonna take him drop shot fishing.
Finesse fishing doesn't make a lot of sounds. Ryan needs to make
Ryan
sounds.
needs, yeah, he needs
It's
sounds.
You
Hey,
hook
man,
a
oh,
You're
hook.
like,
yeah.
you're like an overgrown 11-year-old on a boat. You got to have, something. You got to be stimulated, right?
Hey, that reel drag will sound
my
better than
God.
that horny toad going
You just
across
get
the water.
bored. Let me ask you this: if
I don't get bored. I'm set in my ways, and I'm not going to change. It's got
Hey,
me
listen.
to where I am now.
right now,
Yeah.
okay, well, listen, hey, listen.
So
Pouring jigs.
There you go.
I'm
That's right.
hero or zero.
Heroes, the drag ripping is the best part. Well, let me ask you this: you said that you could power fish, though.
Oh yeah,
Okay, so what's your
Sure.
favorite way to power fish?
DT6 and a spinnerbait.
DT6 and a spinnerbait.
Yes sir.
All right. What do you think about that? Is that a little bit better?
Well, I mean, me and him talk all the time, so I mean, I know he'll power fish.
Okay.
I power fish or don't. I power fish or go home.
So, but that just means why wouldn't you try to drop shot and stuff like that if you need to?
Ain't gonna do it.
Just ain't gonna do it. You're just gonna take your ball and go home.
I'm like John Cox, man. I'm not going. I live in shallow water.
Yeah, but he's
There you
got
go.
a boat to go to the shallow water, right?
I put my boat in some shallow water.
Well,
He
okay.
can put his boat in the mud hole.
I root for the Braves except for when they play LA. I promise. So that's good. I'm glad. So I actually, I'm a big baseball fan, so I have to root for my Braves. But
You know how many times I go to the lake and don't even turn my graphs on?
I don't think you turned them on the night I fished
Hey.
with you.
Don't turn them on this Sunday.
I'm not going to.
So y'all fished together in what?
In the Claremont.
In the
Club.
Claremont
We fish
Club.
against each other.
Against each other.
Yeah.
Who's the better fisherman? Straight up, who's the better fisherman? Let's go.
Yet this year, I took your money.
I took yours.
When?
I love this. This is what I do. I get good
When?
one.
Remember?
Remember
Was
when?
that tournament before I took those pictures of you and
Oh
You
yeah.
Bronson, yeah.
It's just like winning.
You were like,
well,
well, I'm just giving it back.
Who's
Yeah.
better?
Well, I got it back from you. I got my money back. the
You
next
got your money
tournament
back?
from you.
I don't know. I think a good angler is versatile.
Yeah.
Versatility is a big thing
Right?
because if you're not versatile, if
So let it be known, there, all y'all, I suck.
Because you're not
I
versatile.
don't suck.
I'm not-
Well, but where you drop shot, you would shake and head. If you had to, you'd pick up a shaky head before you'd pick up a drop
I'd
shot.
rather pick up a jig before I pick up a shaky.
You pick up a jig before you do a shaky head. Now, you would rather throw a jig or a shaky head?
So for me, my jig fishing is more so skipping under docks. I'll skip docks with the jig.
Okay?
Let go, Coney, shoot dog.
There you
Like
go.
Oconee shooting docks. Ryan needs to get his giant self into a kayak and fish the really shallow water where the bass boats can't go. I will give you kayak guys that. Them jokers
Yeah,
can
right.
park, and you will park in 1 inch of water, and you will sit there. I'll give them that. They fish some shallow water. The brave ones get out there in the deep, but yeah, they fish some shallow water. What are you laughing at, Paul?
That'd be me.
You're out in the deep. Well, you're in Bald Ridge. Right.
This.
That's right.
I like the battleships.
Shallow Water Bank Beaters Anonymous. Don't feel bad. I am too. I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking it at all. I'm just when you go down to Eufaula, what are you throwing?
For Eufaula, I found.
What time of year will Eufaula be fished this coming up year? Do you
Well,
know?
it's already done.
Yeah, this coming up year.
I'm not sure.
No,
Probably the same, wouldn't it?
What
Is it the
would you
same?
fish this year?
What was it? Let's see.
I don't fish BFLs. I don't know.
What was it? June.
June, so it's hot.
I think it was in June.
After spawn,
Yeah, it was after. It was. I was catching post spawn fish.
you were catching post spawn.
Yes, that's what I was
Okay.
catching.
All right.
And I was offshore brush. I mean, can't even see the bank kind of brush.
And
but
you don't throw jigs in that stuff.
I was doing better with a spinnerbait.
Oh, this is one of the ones that you. What about swim jig?
I
You
told
just-
him, I said, hey man, I am locked on this spinnerbait. I'm going to throw it all day, and I'm not going to put it down.
And you were,
And I'm going to get 5 big bites. And So the week,
But
I was
that
down there all week.
But that week your boat was tore up, and you come to the weigh-in, you see me had 13, whatever it was, and it came all on swim jig.
Speaking of skipping docks,
Right.
here's a lure to discuss. 5-inch hula grub.
Oh God.
I got some upstairs. Any of y'all throw them though? You don't throw the hula grub?
I have not threw that.
You have not thrown a hula grub.
Is that a Z-Man?
Yamamoto.
Yamamoto. I know Z-Man makes what is
What
it?
you laughing at, Ryan?
They make some kind of grub with the frill on it. What is it? A bang stick? Yeah, it's a bang
Yeah.
stick.
Bang
Yeah.
stick. I don't
Bang
know.
stick.
Yeah, that's just their Senko.
That's
I still
good on
got
shaking
with
head.
Brain
too.
fog from
Yeah.
having COVID. I
I
can't
use
remember
that
all
one.
these things.
Crawler.
Creepy crawler. I'm
Dude, I've been
serious.
throwing that thing for years.
Yeah. Well,
and it will smack.
Steve
on a
Pinkston. What's
regular
up,
skirt
Steve?
jig.
I love when these people just show up that I know right there at the end. Creepy crawler, Kurt. That's what it's called. Creepy
Dude,
crawler.
that
So-
thing will slap a jig silly when they want a small profile on a jig.
right.
That will slap a skirted jig silly.
Mhm. My problem is every time I come around brush like that, I can't decide whether to throw a bass lure or a crappie jig in it.
Who's that?
Jeremiah.
Oh,
Jeremiah done got that crappie going on like that. I
Jeremiah,
understand
you probably catch all the crappie out of the thing and then throw a dang swim bait
So-
through the brush and catch it.
During the day of the BFL at Eufaula, I caught a total of 25 largemouth down there the day of that tournament, and it ended up being I only had 3 of them that would measure, and the water level got pulled way down and fish moved. You know the story. Was catching them good the day before, and then the day of it just went to crap. But during that BFL, I bet you after 10 o'clock, and it was a time frame too. After 10 o'clock, I probably caught 30 crappie the size of you big ones. I mean, they were like pound and a half on the spinnerbait down there at
Really?
Eufaula.
that. Really?
They were hammering that thing. 5/8 ounce spinnerbait Picasso hog snatcher. They were eating the heck out of it.
And that's not what you expected.
And that
at all.
was the only thing I could catch after 10 o'clock for the rest of the day.
Willow.
I think I've got pictures on Facebook of crappie that I caught during the BFL that was like just giant crappie down there.
Willows or Colorados or combos on your spinnerbaits
It's called tandem.
or tandems.
It's called tandem.
For me, I like the willow blades.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what I throw on mine. I like willow blades. I throw them in muddy water and all that. I do use a Colorado blade at night if I do any night fishing. I like to slow roll that Colorado blade through the brush. Sometimes they'll hammer that pretty good.
You're right. I got you. All right, so we're coming up on about time to run the show down a little bit.
You want me to show you that FG knot?
Can you tie it where they can see it?
You maybe from one of these cameras. You think?
Okay, we can end the show with you tying an FG
try
knot.
it?
Yeah,
All
we
right.
can do that. We'll get him to. He said he's got a way to tie the FG that's pretty quick. What I'm gonna do while he's getting you gotta get prepped a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and get.
I got it.
You got your rods. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and take care of a few things while
All
you
right,
get
go
your
ahead.
rod stuff. So first of all, guys, again, next Thursday, we got Dane Hunter and Alex Pierce of the ABA 125, possibly Andrew Murphy with the 35 coming in, and we're gonna be talking, of course, their tournament trails and some of the lakes and stuff, and what those guys are doing down Allatoona ways. That's some Allatoona boys to. Catch fish right now. I want to thank Eric for being such a good sport. I know we scared the daylights, and he's not going to shop here no more. He's going to shop at Hammond's now. Just as long as you wear my hat when you go in there.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I ask. Just wear my hat when you go in
I've
there.
done it a couple of times.
You've done it? I there you go. But I do appreciate you being a good sport and all that, and singing for us like that. Again, where can people go find you on Facebook?
You can find me on Facebook. I got a page, Lip Sticker Fishing.
There we go.
That's right. Gotta throw that name out there.
Also
Not
got
lip
a-
smacker, lip sticker.
Also got a website, lipstickerfishing.com. You can contact me through there.
Okay, that's all right. So he said he's gonna. You might have to do some camera work here, Paul. He wants to show how he ties the FG knot.
Ain't nobody wants to see that.
Well, I mean, we'll get done with the show about
You-
10:30 now.
You can tie this on a kayak.
All right, so he's going to tie the FG, and you're going to be his assistant. All right, so what camera can we do?
I'm about to take Ryan's camera.
Need to get the
away.
line.
Take Ryan's camera away from him.
You don't need your camera anymore.
Ryan's asleep because this is a daggum.
Tighten it up.
Oh, tighten it
He
up.
don't like no finesse.
He don't like no finesse, and he's pouting.
Let's see, can we get the rod over that way some?
We can do whatever
And
you want to
just-
do, buddy.
Where are you,
Keep,
where are you
just
trying to do Dan?
keep it tight.
How's that?
Can we, I lost my line.
Okay.
Can we do it right here?
Once-
Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see that good.
You know what was
You
funny?
see that
We
kid?
tried this with somebody one time, and they did it, and the knot failed. I forget what happened. I'm not
I'm
not
praying,
wishing you
please
bad.
All right, camera 3. Go
Camera 3 going live. There we go. Now we're
All
tying the
right, so-
FG knot.
I've watched several different ways to tie this knot. I lost some money in the tournament because I did not know how to tie this
Yeah, you
knot.
gotta keep your hands down.
I tied the Alberto knot, and I always relied on that knot. But I lost a bit.
Now you've got it spun around your finger,
So I'm going to do about 5 reps.
around your
1,
pinky.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Now show the camera.
Now show the camera the finger. Yeah,
Where am I?
turn your hand over
Turn
this
your
way.
hand the other way.
There you
I've
go.
I've
See how he's
that
got it?
wrapped right
There you
like
go.
that.
There you go.
So now, I still got these fingers that I can work with. So now I'm gonna take my.
Raise that hand up.
Just a smidget.
See it?
Yeah, there we go.
Now I'm gonna take my leader. And I'm gonna go. Where am I at?
There you go. You're good.
You're good. Yeah, you're
So
good.
I'm gonna go right here over my braid, and I'm just gonna go under here. And then I'm gonna go under the other side of my leader. Go under the other side. Get about 5 wraps on it. Pull it down tight. Get your knot. Am I still in there?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
You're good.
Right there. Go under. Under. Have to keep it tight. Can you pull me tighter? Yeah, there you go, right there. Under.
I can already tell you it's too damn complicated for me.
I've done time 3 over it.
Oh my god.
Pin drop could be heard.
Pin drop.
Make some sounds.
We need some porn,
Right.
some porn
Make
music.
some knot tying sounds, damn it.
I don't know how to make knot time.
I mean, you got sounds for everything else.
Yeah, right there you go. So once I get about 20 wraps on it, hope that's tight.
Sorry,
enough.
I can't cut it off now. Hold on.
20?
Yeah, about 20.
You wrapped that thing
20's
20
nothing.
times?
20 times.
It's nothing.
Dude, I can't listen. Okay, so now you're going through what?
I'm just gonna tie an overhand knot,
Overhand.
an overhand knot
Mm-hmm.
right here, and that.
Can you tie that by yourself in a boat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Normally I got my rod set up a little better than that.
I know. That's the most
Yeah,
important
that's,
part. Having your rod laying
yeah.
just right.
Yeah. So pull that. Make sure it's cinched down good. Pull it here. I don't even know if I'm on the camera.
You're on the camera. You're doing great.
So now you can cut it really close, right there.
Mm-hmm.
Can you kind of show everybody what the knot looks like once you get it, before you cut it? Hold it right there. Yeah, like, there you go, right against the background of your
Actually, it
shirt.
looks really good because you've got that black shirt
Yeah,
on.
so you scoot over this way a little bit.
Move that left hand.
And
So
then,
now you're here.
There you go.
Now
yeah.
you got your braid. Got your knot right there. Now you can cut this tag here.
There we go.
Hope I cut the right one. I can't. See, I'm on the white paper right here.
Oh, yeah, you're looking down at it.
You see what I'm
Hey,
saying?
listen, I can't have everything for everybody.
You gotta bring it
Now
back-
you're off
You
camera.
gotta bring it back into your body.
So now
There you
I wrap 3 times here,
Yep.
around that, and then pull it down here. Now, there you go.
Now, here's my only comment about all this. That's a hell of a lot of work.
Once you get used to it, it's not.
Ah!
You can whip that up so quick.
Dull scissors, yeah. But that's I mean that's a lot of work. And what's the I mean how's that so much better?
How's that better?
Yeah.
It's like a Chinese handcuff.
Yeah.
You're not gonna pull that line out.
I got you. Okay, there you go.
You
So
just
FG knot
don't
right
break
there.
it.
That's something you
don't
need
break.
to actually go home and make a real good video with a good background and stuff.
Yeah, so
And we
I
can
mean,
edit it and put it on your page.
Yeah, I might do that.
You should do that
So
because we're not exactly set up, for you to do this.
You wrap your finger, put your leader, then you do your wraps,
Mhm.
keep it tight. But that's just a simple way that I could understand it.
Right.
Yeah.
I love your
I use-
simple way.
For me to understand it,
Right.
and that right there is
Derek White says it doesn't get caught in the guides or spool
Don't.
That's true.
on other
It
lines.
does
So there
not.
you go. So
That
I'm gonna have to
right
go
there-
learn how to do it.
Yes. Hey, I would recommend learning that knot,
The FG knot.
FG knot.
All right. Well, that's awesome. So, Kevin, definitely thank you for coming on tonight and showing us that. And it takes 20 years to tie, but it casts super
It really
well,
does.
really strong
Yeah,
and very
it
small.
is.
Really don't. Well, if you practice it that way,
You probably could have done it a lot faster if you
Yeah.
weren't trying to show. So, Paul, you got anything I need to throw in here? You good?
As far as I know,
You good?
man.
Ryan, you good with everything?
Reset the FX
good.
contest. That'll be good.
Yes, I will do that one more time, huh?
I'm good.
All right, again, yes. So the FX rod,
Whip Kevin on a horn
I'll
club
put it.
Sunday.
That's right. I'll put it on the page tomorrow. But again, from starting tonight till September 30th. All right. Any order over $49.99 at fishnorthgeorgia.com or TrueGritTackle.com for you jig guys. Get you one entry for a free drawing of an FX titanium rod.
Feed me paper.
Anything over $99.99 gets you 5, and anyone buying an e-propulsion electric outboard, anything like that, will get 10 entries into that. We will be drawing September 30th at 8 p.m. live on the show that night. I don't know who the guests are yet for that one. But again, Kevin, I want to thank you. You guys go check him out at Lipsticker. Eric, thank you for coming in and being such a good sport singing the song, if we can call that singing. Ryan, as always, I know you're bored over there because it was a finesse type show, but I appreciate you.
That's nice.
Hey, that's not finesse.
Yeah,
You can
Paul,
rip-
for all
you
you
can
do,
rip
thank
that
you
thing.
very much for getting me back in shape, guys. We'll see you next Thursday. Again, Fish North Georgia will 12 to 8, starting Tuesday through Friday next week. That's going to be our store hours. Saturday will be 8 to 4:30, but I will be here all day tomorrow and Saturday this coming up week. So, guys, I appreciate everything, and we will see you later.